pleasant afternoon to you all from Hightstown, New Jersey, Maurice P. Schumann Field, where the St. Joseph's Football North from north of the border come down to take on the Peddie Falcons at 1-1. Thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Rosenwasser here of the Play-by-Play Sports Network, and we are excited to bring you another helping of Peddie football here in 2017. The 131st year of Peddie football as Chris Malayo's squad gets ready to do battle here on their home field for the first time this season. Coming off a year they were 6-2, and big things expected for this Falcons team this year, and we'll meet some of those players on the squad, including our player to watch. And we're going to be hearing plenty about the quarterback for this Peddie team throughout the season. Alan Walters, class of 2018, a pro-style quarterback, 6'1", 200 pounds, through 2 games. Look at those stats, 33 of 47, 512 yards, 6 touchdowns, committed to Vanderbilt. Well, he'll be playing. He sat out most of the year last year, played 3 games, and still racked up nearly 900 yards. Phenomenal talent. Alan Walters, one of the best quarterbacks in New Jersey, and our play-by-player to watch here this afternoon.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you again
Captains
for
go out
joining us
here
for
today
Peddie
for the
home opener. Today, Peddie is happy to
coin toss.
play host to our
A couple of
friends from
captains
up
for the
north,
Peddie school.
St.
Number
Joseph's
72, Dan
Canada.
Dawkins, big offensive
This is the
lineman.
first
Adam
international
Conyer, a
game for
linebacker,
Peddie
won't be
football
playing
in their
today. And number
125-year
42,
history.
Tyler Tedeschi. As you see,
Now
the team
meeting
from Canada is
in the
here,
center of the field
sporting
for the
their
coin
flag.
toss are the captains for today's
And
game.
with plenty
From St.
of
Joseph's,
Canadian
Arthur
pride
Hamlin,
here in
Lake
Hightstown,
Cortema,
New Jersey.
Moore,
Let's look at our
Alex
starting
Berwick,
lineups.
Nathan
We'll start
Coleman, and
with
Tyler Green
the
in
Peddie
for
school
Peddie
and their
School.
offense. We
Tyler
just mentioned
Tedeschi,
Alan
Dan
Walters is
Dawkins,
the
and
quarterback.
Adam
Well,
Conyer.
he's got the privilege of playing behind a huge and talented offensive line, one of the best in the whole state of New Jersey. Thomas Wardle, Dan Dawkins, Evan Lovell, Chris Mayo, and Larry Ross. All big bodies, can protect well, can block for the run well. And Chris Chukwinecki, he'll be the running back, newcomer into the Peddie program, post-grad, replacing Keyshawn Farmer, a long-time running back for this Peddie team, but he's got a big offensive line to run behind, and a number of weapons as well on the outside, including Marlon Johnson, Tyron Tucker, the Peddie mainstay, Maurice Balan, and Julian Leslie. And of course, quarterback Alan Walters under head coach Chris Malayo.
Peddie School has won the toss and will take the ball to start the game.
Peddie, as you just heard, will receive first, so we will get to see this offense first. So since we got to see the Peddie offense, let's look at the St. Joseph's defense. Tyler
Now to sing the
Greer,
national
Tyler
anthem
Greer,
of Canada is Peddie student
Manny
Nick Gordon.
Ockel,
Peddie students Julia
CJ
Patel
Wallace,
will, Peddie student
and
Julia
Lake
Patel will follow
Corte
Nick
Moore
to
across
sing
the
the United
defensive line.
States
Player to watch
national
there,
anthem.
Lake
We
Corte
can all
Moore,
rise,
number
remove
11.
our hats, please.
Braden Hart, McMillan, and Hall are the linebackers. Hamlin, Williams, and Eiffel, the DBs. And Ian White, the safety. Let's pause for the Canadian national anthem.
Our home and native land, true patriot love, in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard.
Malayo punt will happen here as he's really got no choice. 4th and a mile.
4th and very long for the Peddie Falcons.
And bonus national anthem here today, as we'll hear the American national anthem now.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last
rendition of the national anthem sung here, both the Canadian and American national anthem. It's a little treat to get the Canadian national anthem sung here at a high school football game, but the St. Joe's Football North, who play their entire schedule against teams in the United States, has traveled what should have been a 7-hour trip down to the Peddie school here, but little bus troubles on the way. It took an extra 4 hours. It took 11 hours for them to get down here. So a team that travels quite a bit, but the kids on the other side from Canada
It's a busy day for Peddie athletics today.
put together
contests going on right behind us.
good
Here on
group
campus,
of determined
Peddie
kids
girls
who
soccer
are willing to make the sacrifice of
on the fields behind us.
doing
And
the
the far
traveling
fields,
necessary
Peddie
to
varsity
get
takes
play
on
the
the
best
team
talent.
varsity.
And the Peddie school certainly one of those schools, one of the better
Peddie
football
School's
teams
boys
across
teams are all three at traveling
certainly the
to
state. And
Pingree
if you look
today
at their
to
roster
take
in
on
terms
the-
of who's going on to the next level and
the
playing,
talented
it's
team from North Jersey.
rivals that of any other school across the country in terms of preparing their players for playing at the next level. And we are excited to bring you
And it's game
this
time.
game here. 12 minutes on the clock here in the first quarter. Again, the Peddie school will be moving right to left to start. And their signature navy blue jerseys.
Back for Peddie, number 9, Chris Chikwanicki, and number 5, Maurice Balan.
Gonna hear a good dose of
Balan
the PA
takes the
announcer.
kick.
So, as you heard, it's Maurice Balan, excuse me, and he is taken down shy of the 20-yard line, and that is where the Peddie drive will start, 1st and 10. So we get to see the Peddie offense early with Alan Walters,
Balan returns the ball to the 22-yard line.
Vanderbilt football player.
1st and 10 for the Peddie Falcons.
And current Peddie Falcon will lead the offense down the field. A number of new weapons for Peddie this year. But that offensive line is going to be one to keep an eye on. It is a must-see offensive line at this level. Big boys up there. They're led by Evan Lovell, 6'5", 305. Dan Dawkins, one of the captains, in there as well. Walters in the gun, and a lot of misdirection, and on the short pass, it is incomplete. Intended for Julian Leslie. So that'll be 2nd and 10. Leslie,
2nd and 10 now from the 22-yard line.
5'11", 205-pound senior. From Sacramento, California, number 2. Great athlete that they're excited to have here. Fake handoff, and across the middle, it's Marlon Johnson, but he can't connect. So 2 incomplete passes to start. It's 3rd and 10. It's a Peddie school team coming off a phenomenal offensive performance against Wyoming Seminary last week. 62-0 over YSEM, 56-0 after one half of play. Alan Walters threw 5 touchdowns. And we have an early timeout.
Timeout on the field, taken
Yes,
by
we
St.
do.
Joseph's.
So, very hot day out there. I think we're going to see a few more stoppages than maybe
Peddie
we're used
varsity
to
is away
seeing.
at George School, while the Peddie JV tennis girls take on George School right on the other side of the
We get
football
to see
field in our
our
tennis courts.
Coach's corner.
Coming out of the timeout,
Look at that
it's
at the-
3rd and 10 for the Peddie Falcons.
Next time out, we will look at the coach's corner. Coming out of the timeout, it'll be 3rd and 10. So, first 2 downs, Peddie passing. Passing down here on 3rd and long. But they do run it, and good room, and a 1st down yardage, and more for the Falcons. Up across the 40, and still going is Chris Chukwanecki.
Chris Chikwanicki with a beautiful drop run up the middle.
5'11",
By
185
25
from
yards.
Edison, New Jersey.
Up to the 49-yard line. 1st and 10, Peddie Falcons.
Blocking up front.
And on first down, screen out of the backfield is Julian Leslie this time, following blockers, and Leslie falls forward. And he'll move the chains again. It'll be yet again a first down for the Peddie school.
Julian Leslie,
they are within.
With a nice swing past the outside, another 12 yards and another Peddie first down.
Territory.
Moving quickly.
Chuck Wienecke in the backfield with Walters on a 1st and 10 from the 40. Handoff and room for Chuck Wienecke going down the middle, juke past the 20-yard line and inside the 15. Chuck Wienecke, but there is a flag on the field, so this one may be coming back, and it looks like it is.
With another good 20-yard burst.
And it is a face mask against the Peddie Falcons, so wipe away the run by Chuck Wienecke. Chuck Wienecke this year, not including the 15-yard run that he had before. 15 rushes, 120 yards this season, 2 touchdowns, a long of 30.
It's a face mask on the Peddie Falcons.
So we'll do it again, 1st and 10 from the 40.
Nice run by Chuck Wienecke. We'll do it all over again, 1st and 10.
Walters in the gun. He's got 4 receivers, 3 on his right. Looking right, now setting up a screen. Lot of room, and Chuck Wienecke with a great catch. Breaks the tackle, and he puts his head down inside the 15-yard line, gets that yardage even after the penalty was called. So Chuck Wienecke is who they're going with here on drive number 1. Another big play, and Peddie knocking on the door just over a minute into this first quarter.
1st and 10 again from the 14-yard line.
Falcons offense moving. It's Walters again with 3 receivers on the right side of the formation. Looking that way, looking for a fade. And it's going to be incomplete. Looking for Tyron Tucker.
2nd and 10.
Tucker guarded by Jerome Boateng. Referees today, Bob Backman. Umpire Mike Boylan. Head linesman Bill Pock. Line judge Chris Matecki. Field judge Glenn Smith. Side judge Mark Brees, and the clock Dale Brown. 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 from the 14. Quick pass by Walters.
It's Leslie. In the end zone, touchdown. Made it look easy, did the Falcons, and Walters to Leslie. It's 6-0 Peddie. The kicker is Christos Katsifis.
Christos Katsifis for the extra point.
It's up. It is good.
And it's good.
7-0 Peddie.
Peddie Falcons.
A good start for the Falcons. Chuck Wienecke with about 40 yards all-purpose on that opening drive, and the Falcons get off to a good start here on their home field. And now it's time to talk about some of the defensive players on this Falcon team, and there are stars all across this roster. The players on the field, we know it's never going to be an issue for Peddie. They've got the talent. If there's one thing that you could point to as a weakness for the Falcons, that's their depth, and it came into play last year towards the end of the season. Injuries galore. Get to that 2nd string, 3rd string. Part of your roster, remember Alan Walters was gone for the majority of the year. They had Terrell Prince playing quarterback and still managed the 6-2 record last year, and still almost beat the Hun School in the 2nd to last game of the season.
Katsifis to kick off from the 40-yard line.
So Falcons, of course, can stay healthy, then they've certainly got a chance to compete for the Maple title, which is what their season goal is. Bring home that hardware. Katsifis to kick away. Kevin Victome receives at the 10. Hit across the 30-yard line, and we get to see the offense for the St. Joseph's
32-yard line. First and 10,
Football North. So we'll look at their starting lineup. Big offensive lineman to watch is Alex Berwick, 6'5", 305. They run behind him a lot. Kingsley, Arnott Smith, and Ford, as well as Frangione on the offensive line. The running back is Blade Best. Victome, Corsi, Reddy, and Coleman, the receivers. And Ben Maracle, the quarterback. He will split time
First and 10 for Football North from
with
the 32-yard
Avery
line.
Dolala. Looks like it is Dolala who starts behind center for the Football North. Movement before the snap, and that's going to go against the running back for the Football North. Remember, this is a team from Canada, so the rules
It's an illegal procedure
a bit
call on
different.
St. Joe's,
A new program.
and they'll back it up 5 yards.
Head coach Lane Scatchard. Talked to him the other day. He's had to pry kids from Canada away from hockey to come play football, but it's a good initiative up there. And
Avery Dolala starts
northern
under
neighbors
center
country.
for the Football North squad.
a
Now first and
admirable
15.
sacrifice considering the travel that this team does. A handoff on first down and hit hard. As the ball is on the ground, it looks like Peddie's got it. As John Lubembo went up the middle and he was walloped. Ball loose, Peddie's got it, it's first and 10 Falcons.
And Peddie recovers the fumble. First and 10 Falcons. From
We
the
didn't even get a
28-yard
chance to
line.
look at the Peddie starting defense yet, but man, there is some experience returning on this Falcons team as you get another look. See if we can get one more replay. Didn't see if, wasn't sure who made that initial tackle. Good stick. It was number 6 in Corey Smith. What a play by Corey Smith to loose the ball, and now Peddie's got a first and 10 going the other way. As that one's incomplete, good coverage over there. They're looking for Tyron Tucker again, second target, but incomplete. Richard Graham on the coverage.
Nice coverage by number 6, Ben Williams of St. Joe's, making the hit.
Ben
Incomplete
Williams
pass.
checked that on
Second
the
and 10.
coverage. So second and 10 here for Peddie. Chukwinecki in the backfield. Walters looking to throw. Deep end zone. And it is caught. Is he in? Yes, he is. Touchdown, Peddie. Marlon Johnson brings it in, taps the toes for 6.
Johnson on the fade into the corner. He kept his feet in bounds. That's a Peddie football touchdown.
What a play by Marlon Johnson. Beautifully thrown ball by Alan Walters right in the corner of the end zone. As we get one more look.
Cephas for the extra point. And it's good.
Marlon
14-0,
Johnson
Peddie Falcons.
Committed to Temple. Just as a junior, 6'4", 195. Yeah, when you got a guy 6'4" on the edge that you can throw the ball up to like that, you know the Falcons are going to take advantage of it more times than not. 14-0, and we've only gone through 2 minutes of gameplay.
Support our senior class, the class of 2018 from Peddie School, raising money with their barbecue in the back behind the press box. Spend a few dollars, support the senior class. We don't want to have the prom in the gym. Thank you.
So a good start for the Peddie Falcons. We've only seen one play run offensively by the St. Joe's Football North. Resulted in a fumble and a turnover with Corey Smith knocking it loose. A couple plays later, a 25-yard touchdown pass from Alan Walters.
Back deep
to
for
Marlon
football
Johnson.
Number 3, Arthur Hamlin. And number 11, Blake Cortimore.
So just 25 seconds separating the 2 touchdowns scored by Peddie. Here's another kickoff by Katsifis. And another good play made by the Falcons.
That was actually number 18.
As
16,
Kevin Victome took it.
Out to the 25-yard line, 1st and 10, football
And
North.
the St. Joe's Football North will start again. 9:59 to go here in the first quarter. Simon Rosenwasser here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Avery Dolala hands the ball off, and a minimal gain on first down. We're going to take the time to look at the Peddie starting defense. Wardle, Schmidt, and Morales, the 3 linemen up front. 4 linebackers, Lamar, Garrett, Tedeschi, and Smith, who's already made an impact. Javar Garrett heading to Virginia next year. Galan, Johnson, Haskins, and Chekwinecki in the defensive backfield for head coach Chris Maleo. Second and 11. And they run a screen to the near side, and that's going to be incomplete, intended for Carter Stevens, as Dowlala
Tight defense by Peddie Schools
is now 0 for 1 on his first passing attempt, so that'll bring up a 3rd and 11. It's a Peddie defense that is led by a couple of linebackers in the middle on this game, Tedeschi and Garrett, who have been in Peddie uniforms for quite a while. And then next week, or the week after, or sometime in the future, they're going to get Adam Conyer back, who hasn't played this year, recovering from a knee injury. As they run a screen to the other side, and it's intercepted. It'll be a pick 6 for the Falcons, and Maurice Bellon is in for a touchdown. It is 20-0. Peddie, 2 turnovers already, and 3 touchdowns for the Falcons. As Bellon goes in, the junior from Elliott City, Maryland. So far, the defense has been as advertised here for Peddie. Here's Katsifis on for the extra point, looking to make it 3 of 3 in the first 3 minutes of the game. As a whistle will all play as a flag comes out in offsides against Canada, St. Joseph's.
It's an offside call. We'll move it half the distance to the goal line and try it again. Katsifis up for the extra point. Bellon is the holder for the Peddie Falcons. He picked up that tip ball and took it back to the end zone.
So after the penalty, the kick is up. The kick is good. 21-0 to Peddie School after a pick 6 by Maurice Bellon. It is 21-0 Peddie. Making a early impression on their home team, on their home fans, excuse me. And you see Chris Maleo.
Also on tap for Peddie Sports today.
Let's take a look at the coach's corner since we got him on the screen. Trying to get that in before. Chris Maleo's 3rd season. And
it has been renamed in honor of
at the helm of the Peddie football program, brings such a great energy to the Peddie school.
And coach.
Was at practice yesterday. You can see him jumping up in the air, bumping with his kids. Those kids love playing for Chris Maleo. 5 seasons at Northwestern as a quarterback and a linebacker. 12-5 career record here at Peddie. And he actually played at the Hun School of Princeton, where he was the 2002 Prep Offensive Player of the Year. Also coached at the Hun School of Princeton, offensive and defensive line coach, as well as a stint at the Lawrenceville School. So very familiar with the Maple. And his third year in the Peddie program, as it's a little swimmer here, and Peddie's got a good chance to pick this one up. It's still loose, and it looks like the Falcons have it. That one squirted through. The referee from behind, let's see, what do they call it? It might be bailing out St. Joseph's here, because that ball still looked loose. And it might have been an early whistle, but the defense does come out onto the field.
And it will be St. Joe's football north ball, 30-yard line, 1st and 10.
I think the referees are still talking to each other here, but it'll be St. Joe's football north ball. Peddie's still pointing in the other direction, thinking that they should have the football, but in any event, it'll be 1st and 10 for the football north.
Number 10, Delala, under center for football north.
They're going to re-kick it. So my only guess here is the referees know they made the wrong call, and instead of giving the ball to Peddie, they're just going to re-kick.
We're going to re-kick again. Katsifas from the 40-yard line.
Not sure if I've ever seen anything quite like that. If you're going to make the call, just stick to it. Instead, an extra water break for both teams. It is hot out there.
Again, back for St. Joe's football north, number 16, Victome, and number 3, Hamlin.
So here we go again. 9:01 on the clock, and Peddie will re-kick. Christos Katsifas has been a busy man so far. And this one is booted long. Kevin Victome receives.
Taken deep by Victome. He's taken down at the 32-yard line by a number of Peddie
line, and
Falcons.
we can safely say it'll be the football
Led
north
by
ball.
Tedeschi and number 17, David
See
Harris.
if the offense can move. A couple of good skill position players for this football north team.
First and 10 for football north at the 31-yard line.
And it's Dowlala behind center. Bemba is the running back. Quick pass to the far side. It's incomplete, intended for number 83 and Nathan Coleman.
With the pass.
2nd and 10 for the football north.
Nathan Coleman is incomplete.
Release there for the football north. We talk about the big bodies on the offensive line. Well, the defensive line is much of the same for the Peddie School. Thomas Wardle, Jose Morales, and Alexander Schmidt will be bringing the pressure each and every time, and then you can add some linebackers in there. There you go. Bring the pressure. Take them backwards. Tedeschi in there on the play.
He's taken down by Wardle and Tedeschi.
Wardle as well, so it'll be 3rd and long, 3rd and 12 here.
Lennox Lamar.
At the 25-yard line, the Falcons will boot it away to the football north. Arthur Hamlin back to return. Julian Leslie, senior from Carmichael, California.
Loss of 1 on the play, so it's 3rd and 11 for St. Joe's Football North.
3-touchdown lead for Peddie. 4 minutes into the first quarter. 3rd and long. Here comes the pressure, and it is incomplete. Just off the mark to Tristan Reddy. To get it to him across the middle, and it looks like we'll see our first punt of the game
from the Peddie Falcon
on
defense.
4th and 12.
An incomplete pass. 4th down and 11 yards for Football North.
So Peddie sends back a couple of their skill guys to receive, Julian Leslie and Maurice Bellon.
Number 2, Julian Leslie, and number 5, Maurice Bellon are back for the Peddie Falcons to receive the punt.
Quite a luxury when you can put 2 skill guys back there and be confident that either one of them can take it the distance. Nearly blocked as a good boot gets away. Angled toward the sideline. That's a really good punt. No chance for a return. And Peddie will start at the 40-yard line.
From St. Joe's. Kicks it out of bounds. And about the 41-yard line, 1st and 10, Peddie Falcons.
So Peddie, a team that scored 56 points in the first half of last week, is on pace to match that. But the Falcons
7:51 left in the first quarter.
Did go down in their week 1 game to Gonzaga out of DC, one of the top schools in the DC area. Full experience playing in Franklin Field in Philadelphia, where a couple of Peddie players will play their college careers. Handoff up the middle to Chuck Winecki, and he's got a huge hole across the 40-yard line. And boy, does the offensive line make it look easy. He wasn't even touched until 15 yards down the field. Another 1st and 10 for Peddie. This is going to be a tough offense to stop.
Alan Walters, number 15, remains under center for the Falcons.
Again, Chuck Winecki in the backfield, Walters behind center, and 4 receivers, 2 on each side. It's going to be 12 men on the field. This is a free play, and over the middle, it's complete. And making a move, still on his feet, in for the touchdown, Maurice Bellon.
Completed to Maurice Bellon.
Touchdown number 2 for Bellon on the day, a short pass that he takes for 6. The flag on the field, I believe, is going to be 12 men against.
Beautiful run and into the end zone for another Peddie
the St.
football
Joe's
touchdown.
Football North. But Bellon, whoa, makes it 27-0.
Flag on the field is too many men for St. Joe's. It's declined. The touchdown is good. Bellon to hold, and Katsipis for the extra point again.
So Katsipis on for another extra point. As you saw the referee indicate that Peddie declines the penalty. 7:15 to go. Man, it's been a long time since we started this game, it seems, but only 4 minutes and 45 seconds of gameplay off the clock. And Katsipis puts it through for yet another extra point. 4 for 4. It is 28-0 as we get one more look at the beautiful catch and run by Maurice Bellon. So 3 touchdowns already for quarterback Alan Walters. It helps to have the skilled players that he does.
Peddie football legend Dr. Terry Hensel, class of 1960 here.
But Bellon scoring a pick 6
supporter of Peddie athletics and a longtime trustee
just a
for the
couple
Peddie
of
School.
moments ago. And then a couple minutes later, a 35-yard catch and run for Bellon.
Number 40, Katsipis on again.
matches the longest touchdown of the game of the year for Maurice Bellon. He did have a 36-yard touchdown catch
16,
against Wyoming
Victone,
Seminary.
And number 3, Hamlin.
So Katsifis lines up. This one taken at the 15-yard line by Victone.
And he's taken down by a few Peddie Falcons led by
Tyler
number 45.
Wasilewski. Sophomore from Cream Ridge, New Jersey.
Wasilewski. And number 50, Jose Morales.
So back out comes the outstanding Peddie defense, who has yet to allow a positive yard play. Maybe just that 1-yard run on the last possession. Both drives for the St. Joe's Football North, well, all 3 drives have ended in either a turnover or a punt.
First and 10 from the 32-yard line.
Interception for a touchdown, and the last one was the punt. So first and 10 here, fresh set of downs for Dowlala. Play action going deep, and he overthrows his intended target. Coverage on the play by Marlon Johnson.
Throw is incomplete over the top.
Julian Leslie.
Second and 10 from the 33. Second and 10 from the 33.
Got a good comparison of the lines here, and the quarterback's time to throw. You see Dowlala looks a little bit rushed in the pocket there. He was ready to throw it quite quickly after it was snapped. Meanwhile, Alan Walters, he's able to step up and throw. He's got all the time in the world, so it just can't be stated enough how important that battle in the trenches is up on the line.
Mitchell.
As Avery Dowlala takes the snap, again looking to throw, being chased by Lennox Lamar, and eventually he does go down. A flag does come in at the end, as Thomas Wardle will get credited with the sack, pending the penalty, and it is against the Football North. Holding against St. Joe's. So we'll redo the down as St. Joe's marches backward. 6:51 to go here in the first quarter.
It's a 2-yard loss on the play. Peddie will decline the holding penalty. 3rd and 12 for St. Joe's Football North.
Third and 12 here for St. Joe's.
Same alignment for St. Joe's and in the slot. Number 12, Markle, joins the crowd.
Here comes the pressure. They set up the screen.
Screen up the middle.
Get across the original line of scrimmage, but still short of the first down. Blade Best on the catch.
It's about a 6-yard gain.
6 yards will bring up 4th and
Brings up
6.
4th and about 5 or 6 for St. Joe's Football
Head
North.
coach Blaine Scatchard wants to do. Looks like they're going to go for it here.
St. Joe's understanding as though they're going to go for it.
3 receivers on the left side, 1 on the right. And the whistle comes before the snap. Flag out there, and it is a false start against St. Joe's Football North. So if they weren't going to kick before, 4th and 9 might convince them to.
False start on St. Joe's Football
North. It does
North.
look like it is coming
I'll
on the
take
field.
it back 5 yards. It'll be 4th and 10.
Blaine Scatcherd over there on the sideline for the
From
football
about
board.
the 33-yard line. Coleman back to kick.
Raised in Ottawa, Ontario.
Ballon and Leslie back for the Falcons to receive the punt.
Here's the kick. High booming kick. It's a good one again. That will bounce out of bounds.
Well kicked again by Coleman.
27. It's Coleman with the punts, and he's shown a good
Out of
leg
bounds
so
at the
far.
31-yard line.
Another
1st and 10,
angled
Peddie
kick with
Falcons.
no chance for return, and Peddie takes over with 5:24 to go in the first. Yep. Only 5:24 left in the first quarter, as 4 touchdowns have been scored by the Peddie school. They'll come back out on offense starting at about the 30-yard line. Do have a timeout on the field. Let's take a look at some recent results for the Peddie school. We talked about their play at Gonzaga, or against Gonzaga, I should say, because they played at Franklin Field in Philadelphia. Talk about some of the players that will be playing their college careers at the next level at Franklin Field for
This is Peddie
Ben
School's third game of the
Quakers.
season. They're 1-1 so far.
Adam
And as we
Conyer.
said before, this is our home opener.
Conyer, who's not playing in this game and didn't play in that game either, will be heading to the University of Pennsylvania. Got an offer from all of the Ivy League schools, in fact. Wyoming Seminary, that was never a game, but 62-0, 56-0, and 400 yards of offense in the first half. And we are seeing how they did it live here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. First run that goes virtually
Leslie
nowhere
on the
here
run.
for Peddie. It was a run by
He's
Leslie.
going to lose a yard.
And it'll be 2nd and 11. Beautiful day for football here from Hightstown. Not a cloud in the sky. It's in the high
2nd and
70s,
11
low
from
80s.
the 30-yard line from
Bit
Peddie
of a
Falcons.
breeze. Gorgeous football weather. Under 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Here's 2nd and 11. Walters looking back to throw. Here comes the pressure. They set up the screen. Chuck Winecki takes a block.
Screen
Chuck
play.
Winecki off to
Chuck
the
Winecki.
races. He's got another
He's
blocker
following
in
some
front of him.
blockers.
Now across the sideline, and Chuck Winecki is going to go. No, he's not. He's caught right at the 1. Well done by number 3.
Caught at the 1-yard line by number 3 for St. John's, Arthur Hamlin. Just a
Arthur
beautiful
Hamlin
effort.
with some
And a wonderful screenplay and
pursuit
a
and
69-yard
hustle
gain.
to catch up
for the
with
Peddie
Chuck
Falcons.
Winecki. Just
First and goal at the
inside
1-yard
one,
line.
but Peddie, oh so close to adding in another touchdown score. Chuck Winecki accumulating a lot of yards, but no
Peddie's
6
quick to the
points
line of
there.
scrimmage.
Chuck Winecki is in the backfield. And a little confusion there as Walters throws and taken down right at the goal line. Let's see, it's a touchdown. Wrestled into the end zone. Was Ballon.
Ballon takes the ball into the end zone, but there is a flag on the play.
There is a flag on the play. Arthur Hamlin was there right at the goal line trying to defend it again and kind of wrestled him in across the goal line.
I believe that's an ineligible man downfield.
And it's going to go against Peddie if it is ineligible man downfield, as the PA announcer indicated, as they do mark it back. It looked like an odd play to begin with. Walters seemed as if he wanted to hand off to Chuck Winecki, but Chuck Winecki
St.
was
Joe's
on the
takes the
wrong
penalty.
side of
It's
him
now first
when
and
he
goal
went to
from
hand it off.
First and goal from the 5.
Walters, to his credit, made something happen after scrambling and turning it into what would have been a touchdown if it weren't for the penalty, but the penalty did happen, so it's 1st and goal. 1st and 7 from the 7. And it's Chuck Winecki on the draw. Chuck Winecki is no signal yet from the
Draw play
referees,
at the
but
middle
he
to
is
Chuck
close, and
Winecki.
he's going to be taken down just short of the goal line. So
It'll be 3rd
2nd
down,
and
just short of the goal line.
from the 1 as Peddie hurries up to the line. Hand off to Chuck Winecki. He's taken down in the backfield. Good play. Number 45
Really nice
and
play by number
Makeo
45
Hall.
from Football North.
We were
Makeo
told to
Hall.
look out for. Got a lot of good
And
athletes
Chuck
on
Winecki
this
is taken
Canada
down short
squad,
of
on
the
the
goal
St.
line.
Joe squad, I should say.
4th down and 1.
Talk about different cultures and the importance of football in
He's
America
third down
as
and
opposed
one.
to Canada, as Walters almost threw an interception right into the arms of Jerome Boateng.
Walters with the quick
And
slant.
it's incomplete.
Pass
Jerome Boateng,
toward
not
number 5,
the soccer player
Milan.
for Bayern Munich in Europe, but the football player for the St. Joseph's Football North.
Number 2, Boateng steps in front of the pass.
It is 4th down,
4th down and 1.
and an easy 3 points would be had for Peddie with Katsifis, who's hit all of his extra points, but they're going to go for it. Walters gives it to Chuck Wienecke. Extra effort. Is he across the goal line? Let's see. I think he is. St. Joe's says that he's not. We're waiting for the signal from the referee. And St. Joe's stops him. What a goal line stand for the St. Joe's Football North. And you can credit all of that
That's a
to
big goal line
Arthur
stand for
Hamlin,
St.
number
Joe's Football
3.
North.
Remember Chuck Wienecke on the long
They've got
60-yard pass and catch.
First and
Was
10
so
from
close
their
to being in the
own
end
1
zone,
yard
just
line.
1 yard short. He was dragged down by his ankles by Arthur Hamlin, and after that, the Falcons unable to punch it in. So now a long field to go, and you don't want to celebrate too much if you're the St. Joe's Football North, because this Falcons defense has been driving their offense backwards all game. So it's a dangerous territory here
2:37 left
with
in
the
the
ball
first
spotted
quarter.
at the 1 yard line for
St.
St.
Joe's with a
Joe's.
long 99-yard field in front of them, but first and 10 right now from their own 1 yard line.
A handoff, and they do safely get it out of the end zone, but a minimal gain on first down. Number 24,
Hand up
Connor
up the middle
Bornay,
to number 24, Connor Bornay.
6'1",
He
255.
picks up a couple of yards.
Bigger bruising back.
Second and
Count
10
on for short yardage
for St.
situations.
Joe's
Gives
Football North.
gives
Their own
themselves a little bit of breathing room. It'll be second down and just about 9 here for the Football North as we close in on nearly 2 minutes to go in the first quarter.
I know. They're making excuses of being lazy. They got their heads down.
So a screen and a
Quick
nice
hitter out
play
wide.
on second
Coleman, and
down,
that's a
bringing
first
it
down for St. Joe's Football
across the
North.
10-yard line, and a first down for St. Joe's. Nathan Coleman,
Knocked out of bounds.
speedy receiver, comes
by
across
number
the middle
21.
and catches and runs for first down yardage. First and
Simon
10, most
Haskins.
positive play offensively for St. Joe's so far. And the last couple of minutes has been some good-looking football for the St. Joe's Football North compared to how this game started. And you like to see the energy in the team, even though they were down 28-0, a huge fourth down stand. And now their offense on the move, or relatively speaking, second and 10.
Bornay up the middle once again.
And it was Bornay.
Little daylight. Taken down by a host of Peddie Falcons. No gain on the play, second and 10. From about the 15-yard line.
Under a minute to play here in the first quarter.
Delala
Second
again
and about
behind
9
center,
and a
number
half
5.
here for Peddie.
Labemba
Excuse me, for
in the
the
backfield.
Football North. As this ball is batted down at the line.
That ball was tipped on the pass play by number 6 for the Peddie School, Corey Smith.
There's Corey Smith in there on the deflection. Smith has been flying around
Incomplete
so far here in
pass.
this first quarter. Remember that
Third down.
first defensive play. Smith
And
forced
about
the
9
fumble.
yards for St.
And it
Joe's
led to
Football
a
North.
touchdown for the Falcons. 3rd and 9 here for the Football North. Peddie showing pressure. And Alala bobbles. Now he's in trouble, throws it away, and there's no one in the vicinity. Is
Tough snap,
that
really.
not intentional grounding?
Lot of pressure.
There's the flag. Intentional grounding comes out.
From number 6.
That's what I thought. There was no one even close.
Smith and number
Pretty
55,
clearly a
Thomas
panic throwaway for Dowlala, and that is intentional grounding against
St. Joe's.
St. Joe's Football North. A loss of down, 4th and long, and they'll be forced to punt deep in their own territory as it's a spot foul. He threw it away all the way back on his 5-yard line.
Ball's moved back to the 5-yard line. 4th down and a whole lot
So
for St. Joe's
Peddie
Football
with
North. Coleman again back to punt.
presumably good
Belon
field position
and
to
Leslie
come.
back to receive the punt for the Peddie Falcons.
With Belon and Leslie standing at their own 50 to receive. Well, not their own 50, but that's midfield. Another angled kick that goes out of bounds at the 49.
Coleman effectively sending the ball
Wow,
wide
Coleman
again,
has been
out of
impressive
bounds.
with the boot.
That's going to be
Deep
first
in their
and
own
10 for the
territory,
Peddie
St. Joe's
Falcons
Football North able to get it to near midfield.
at the St.
And
Joe's
Peddie
42.
will start their drive officially at the 42-yard line. Always wondered how referees were able to determine where that ball crosses out of bounds when it's in the air. It's such an inexact science, but a ballpark figure where the Peddie Falcons will start here at the 42-yard line in
Straight out
enemy
of the
territory.
sidelines.
23 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Into formation for the Peddie Falcons. Number 42, Tyler Tedeschi, is back behind quarterback Alan Walters.
Tedeschi, the running back, and they give it to him. Tyler breaks a tackle, trying to get to the outside,
Tedeschi
and
takes the
he's
ball up the
brought
middle.
down by a couple
Skips a little outside for a
of
5-yard
Football
gain.
North
2nd and 5.
players in Ben Williams and Arthur Hamlin.
Williams and Hamlin on the tackle for
Enjoying
St.
watching
Joe's.
number 3 for St. Joe's Football North as the time runs out in the first
Time runs
quarter
out in the
of
first
play.
quarter.
The
Peddie Falcons
score,
28,
Peddie 28,
St. Joe's
St.
nothing.
Joe's nothing. You're watching live high school sports, live high school football here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network.
We'll switch in.
Start the second quarter here. Peddie with a 28-0 lead, and they switch sides
Second
of the
quarter
field.
starts.
So Peddie moving left to right.
2nd and 5 from the 37.
2nd and 5 here as Walters evades pressure. Oh, beautiful spin move. Still looking down the field, and he eventually throws it away.
Whole lot of pressure
Good
from
look
St.
at the
Joe's.
mobility of
Allen gets
Alan
away from it, but has
Walters.
to throw it away.
We talk about how he's got the luxury of standing up in the pocket and throwing to some of his big playmakers with a huge offensive line, with a good protecting offensive line. But good to see that when things break down, Walters can get out of trouble.
From there,
And it brings
St.
up
Joe's
a
37.
3rd down and about 6 here. Walters goes down, sacked in the backfield by number 11, Lake Corte Moore, 6'5", 230.
big pressure.
And
Number
that's going to
11,
bring
Lake
up a 4th
Corte
down and
Moore
long.
in the backfield for the taking down
It's one of
Alan
those
Walters on the
situations in
sack.
high school football that
It's about a 5-yard loss.
see more times than not, the offense go for it, especially if you're the Peddie Falcons, knowing you've got so many weapons. But you're in enemy territory, and Peddie certainly trusts their defense, so no reason not to go for it. Get the extra rep offensively. Tedeschi in motion. Quickly looking that way, across the middle. We've got Julian Leslie, all beautifully designed play, and he's still going. Blockers to boot. Maurice Bellon provides one, and down he goes up to the 20-yard line. Tackle eventually made by number 94, Manny Ockel, but Julian Leslie.
Julian Leslie catching the ball from Alan Walters.
And that was a gorgeous play by the Peddie School. You can see on the far side.
1st and 10 from the 17-yard line of St. Joe's.
Walters to the end zone, and he overshoots his man, Tyron Tucker.
It's an incomplete pass. Walters looking.
So 2nd and 10. Anyway,
4,
the previous
Tyron
play
Tucker
got the first down. You can see Tedeschi kind of being a decoy on the left side. I think that play the whole time was being designed for Julian Leslie on the near side, and that was executed very well. The blocking really set up well there for the Falcons on 4th and long. Now it's 2nd and 10 inside the 20. It's Tedeschi still, and Tedeschi
up the middle for a few yards.
Linebacker body has some strength to get past the first line of defense, and he falls forward for a gain of a couple. So 3rd and 8 here for Peddie. A quick start for the Falcons as they scored 4 touchdowns.
Evan Lowell handling the snaps for the Peddie Falcons today.
First 5 minutes of gameplay. But they've been anemic since then. And they call a timeout. 3rd and 8. So 10:06 to go.
3rd and 8 with a little over
Chris
10 minutes left
Maleo will
in the first
talk
half.
it over. We talked before about the St. Joe's Football North and the travel that they have to do to complete their schedule. So let's look at some of those teams that they do play. And they play some of the best competition all across the United States, and a program that is built upon preparing kids in Canada to play football and enjoy football and continue on at the next level, especially collegiately. To be the best, you've got to play the best. St. Joe's wants to be one of the best teams in North America, get a new program, but you've got to admire what head coach Blaine Scatchard and company have done with this schedule, looking at all of the states that they have come to play. Not easy to get from Ottawa to here in Hightstown. Should be a 7-hour drive. It turned into 11 hours with some bus trouble. As they fake to Tedeschi, they go for the end zone, and it's incomplete, intended for Tyron Tucker. And it'll bring down a 4th and 8.
Walters goes for Tucker again in the corner of the end zone. Incomplete
and
pass.
They went for it on 4th and 11 from their own 45.
For the Peddie Falcons from the 15-yard
You can bet that they're going to go for it on 4th and 8 from their own 15. As Alan Walters gets the signal from the sideline.
Back to punt. Hamlin back to receive for the St. Joe's.
There's Chris
Football
Maleo.
North.
Information back to his team. Receiver on the far side is Maurice Bellon. Looking that way, it's Bellon who catches at the first down sticks, breaks a tackle, and he's in for a touchdown. Touchdown number 3 for Maurice Bellon. 34-0 as Peddie puts on another one. 2 fourth down conversions.
Bellon a hold now for the extra point. Katsifas ready to make the kick.
Here's Katsifas' kick. It is up. It is good.
It is good. 35-0, Peddie Falcons. With 9 minutes and 50 seconds left
So
in
a
the first half.
15-yard pass and catch from Walters to Balan. And Peddie up 35-0 as we get one more look here. Maurice Balan has come alive here in his first game as a Peddie Falcon on his home field. Of course, he played in the first 2 games for the Falcons this season. To recap so far, we've seen a touchdown reception from Leslie, Julian Leslie, a newcomer from Carmichael, California. Marlon Johnson caught a score as well, 25 yards, the 6'4" wide receiver. And Balan took over. Maurice Balan with a 15-yard or 20 yards or so interception, pick 6. Took it the distance just a couple of minutes later. Balan with a 35-yard catch and run. And then the most recent 15-yard catch on 4th and 8 to make it 35-0. So with 9:50 left in the second quarter, we've already eclipsed running clock territory here. The Falcons offense has picked up right where they left off from last week, scoring 62 points, 56 of them in the first half against Wyoming Seminary. And Alan Walters has picked up right where he's left off, already throwing 4 touchdowns in this game. Remember, he threw 5 against YSEM.
Just a reminder to you all that the class of 2018, our senior class at Peddie School, has its barbecue going right on the other side of the
that was the
press box.
25-yard touchdown from
Please support
Johnson.
their efforts to have the
pick 6
prom
from Balan.
in the way that they would love to have it. Burgers and dogs, sodas, it's a hot day. Get fed and stay cool.
The Falcons have been on their game thus far here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Simon Rosenwasser here with you. Kevin Fodinger, Alex Ramadan,
Can't
Tyler
see this guy for
Conroy.
another kick
Glad you
from
could
the
join us
zone
here.
40-yard line. Hamlin and Victome back
Cephas
to
boots
receive
this
the kick.
one, and it will die right on the end line, and it will be a penalty against the Falcons.
Ball's
Of course,
actually
you
kicked out of
cannot
bounds.
kick the ball out of bounds.
25-yard line.
Look at where that ball is, so close to it being a live ball for the Falcons.
St. Joe's will
Instead,
have a
it'll
first
be
down,
St.
first and
Joe's
10
ball,
from their own 35-yard line.
starting at the 35.
Delilah under center and number 25, Blade Best in the backfield right now for St. Joe's Football North.
Lala hands off to Blade Best.
Best takes it out wide, right, loses a couple of yards.
Taken down by number 55.
Taken
and
down by
Thomas
Wardell and Smith.
Wardle from Glassboro, New Jersey.
That's a loss of 2. 2nd and 12 for St. Joe's from their own 33-yard line.
Two receivers on either side. Now Lala bobbles, now has time, throws off his back foot, incomplete, out of bounds. Got his coach, Blaine Scatchard. And it'll be 3rd and 12.
That's an incomplete pass. 3rd and 12 now for St. Joe's.
Acadia University in Nova Scotia. He's there for 5 years. And his final year, he was the East nominee for the Heck Creighton Award, which is the top university player in the country. So you want to have a good team at the high school level to prepare the players for football at the college level. How about a guy who has been at the top of the college level in Blaine Scatchard for the Football North. 3rd and long here, as Dowlala will not be able to get this play off, as losing his balance at the last second was Blade Best. It's a false start against the running back Best.
Start on St. Joe's. 5-yard penalty. Now 3rd and 17 from their own 27-yard line.
Third and long here. Dowlala has it intercepted. Oh, what a play there by big number 52, Alexander Schmidt.
Alexander Schmidt, and he takes it back for a Peddie Falcon touchdown.
Another pick 6 for the Falcons. It's 41-0. Schmidt, a senior from Percy, Pennsylvania. And he makes one of the biggest plays of his young career. So that one will be put on his college highlight reel tape.
Ketsivis back again for the extra point.
With athleticism by number 52, and yet another extra point to come here. It's not through easily. The 7th
Staying
extra
consistent,
point.
Ketsivis knocks it through.
40.
And it's 42-0. Peddie Falcons.
Another defensive touchdown for the Falcons, clicking in all fashions of the game. Hot sunny day.
Number 3, Arthur Hamlin. Number 16, Kevin Victome, again back for St. Joe's to receive the kick.
Next week, a Friday night football
Ketsivis
game.
Up for another
almost Friday night. No lights here
kickoff
at the Peddie football field, but
from his own 40-yard line.
Friday afternoon at 3:45, they'll take on Malvern Prep right here on the Play by Play Sports Network. An exciting Interact versus Maple League contest. Leagues we saw do battle last week as well.
You'll have to
Blair
reteam.
Academy took on the Haverford School. If you didn't catch that broadcast, an impressive performance by Blair Academy, taking it to a talented Haverford School team. Really, it was never a game. Blair cruising through that one with a really good-looking defense. This one taken up on a hot
Hamlin picks up the
by Hamlin.
ball,
And he
taking
turns
it out
on the
wide,
Jets
and he is
bounds.
pushed
Arthur
out of
Hamlin
bounds
out at the 35.
by number
We've seen a
50
couple of
50
players stand
Morales
out here for the football
after a
north.
very nice
Arthur
return
Hamlin, probably most notably,
up
he
to
made
the
play of
35-yard
game
line.
for
It'll be
football
1st and
north.
10 for St. Joe's from their
When
own
he
35.
caught Chuck Winecki at the 1-yard line, which ultimately led to a four-down stand for the football north all the way down there, holding Peddie to no points on that series. Decent return there up to the 35. 8:22 and counting left in the second quarter. 42-0 Peddie. as we get a new quarterback in there. Ben
New
Maracle,
quarterback for St. Joe's, number 12,
6'4",
Ben Maracle.
and he throws it over the
Just a little
head
high
of his
Toward
intended
Coleman
target,
at
Coleman.
number 83, incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 from the 35-yard line for St. Joe's.
Maracle 6'4", 190. Certainly has the body to play the position. 2nd and 10.
Number 5, Lamemba, is in the backfield, along with Maracle.
Maracle steps back, offs it over the middle, and it's going to be incomplete, intended for Coleman. And on the coverage,
Maracle goes
Tyron
deep
Tucker.
to Coleman, but great coverage by number 4, Tyron Tucker for the Petty Falcons. That's an incomplete
Skill
pass.
position players for the Falcons.
3rd and 10 from the
On offense, we know
35-yard
they're
line for
good,
St.
but
Joe's.
defensively, Tyron Tucker has got some good experience blanketing his opposing receivers. And there was no separation there between Coleman and Tucker. So it brings up a 3rd and 10. Bemba is the running back alongside Maracle. Fakes to him, trying to set up the screen to Nelson.
Coleman goes in motion and just misses
Excuse me,
the incomplete pass.
Coleman, and it's incomplete. Actually had a
4th
good
down
amount
and
of
10
open
from
field
35
over
for
there
St.
if they could have
Joe's.
completed it. So it'll be 4th and long and a likely
Coleman will go
punt
back
here
to punt.
by Coleman, who has shown off a good
Balon
leg.
and Leslie back again for the Petty Falcons to receive.
Certainly a leg that will be utilized at the college level, or at least could be. A couple of really nice boots here for Nathan Coleman so far, as he stands at the 20-yard line for the St. Joe's Football North. And the lefty boot away this time. This one a little bit shorter. And it takes a Peddie bounce down at the 48-yard line.
Down at the 48-yard line
So
by
more
number 8 for St. Joe's.
Opportunity for
Richard
Peddie
Graham.
with good field position. Get a look at where the drive
Petty
will
Falcons
start.
will have 1st and 10 from their own
By the way,
49-yard
running
line.
clock, 35
With 6
points
minutes and
is the
5
rule
seconds
here
left in the first half.
New Jersey high school football, but it does not come into play until the second half. But as I say that, they run the clock for a little bit now. During this timeout. So it might be that they're instituting the running clock here in the second quarter. As Peddie will start
Walters
the
on the
drive with
center
the
and
first and
Chickwinnicki
10
in the backfield
from the
for Petty.
49-yard line.
Tyron Tucker out wide right. Trips left for the Falcons. Balon, Leslie, and Johnson out wide.
Flag
the
on
left
the
side.
play. A 5-yard penalty will bring Peddie back. 1st and 15.
Delay a game
Under
will send it back
5 and a
5
half
yards.
to
1st
go.
and 15 from the 44-yard line for the Petty Falcons.
Here's Walters, who's hit, and he goes down. Yet another sack by Lake Corte Moore, his 2nd of the game.
Lake Corte Moore in again for a sack.
Good-looking defensive end. And
It's
Corte
another
Moore,
5-yard loss for the
6'5",
Petty Falcons.
230.
2nd and 20.
And it is 2nd and very long here for the Petty School. Setting up a short screen, and again it's Corte Moore.
Corte
in the
Moore with a
backfield.
quick play and tipping the ball. Incomplete pass.
They were trying to set up the screen
Walters
to
was
Julian
setting up the
Leslie,
screen
but Corte
to
Moore
number
blew
2,
it up.
Leslie.
Big game so far by
Very
number
nice
11.
play by number 11, Corte Moore. That'll bring up 3rd down and 20 from the 39-yard line for the Petty Falcons.
Lovell to snap the center. Over the head of Alan Walters, and Walters just going to have to eat it all the way back at the 24-yard line. It'll bring up a 4th and extremely long.
The head, and it's another
the rare situation where you see Chris Maleo punt will happen here, as he's really got no choice. 4th and a mile.
4th and very long for the Peddie Falcons.
And at the 25-yard line, the Falcons will boot it away to the football north. Arthur Hamlin back to
Walters
return.
back to punt.
He's
Hamlin back to
at his
receive
own
for the
34.
St. Joe's
There's Chris
football
Maleo.
north.
It's Walters' punt, low one, and it's taken
Hamlin receives it.
by. It's Walters' punt, low one, and it's taken
Hamlin receives it.
by Hamlin.
The Peddie 30 at the St. Joe's 38-yard line, about a 5 or 6 yard return. The Peddie 30 at the St. Joe's 38-yard line, about a 5 or 6 yard return.
To the 43, and that's where the St. Joe's drive will start with under 3 minutes to play. Here in the second quarter, 40 to the 43, and that's where the St. Joe's drive will start with under 3 minutes to play. Here in the second quarter, 42-0.
First
Peddie.
and 10 from their own 44-yard line for St. Joe's football north. Just under 3 minutes left to play in the first half. 4-yard line for St. Joe's football north. Just under 3 minutes left to play in the first half. Markle again back. Markle again back at quarterback for St. Joe's. Blade Best at quarterback for St. Joe's. Blade Best backfield.
As there's a run on first down for
Markle takes it
Miracle.
himself after backing up to make a pass. Backfield.
as there's a run on first down for
Markle takes it
Miracle.
himself after backing up to make a pass. 6 yards.
second and
Second
four
and
here
4 for St. Joe's
the football north.
from the 50-yard line. 6 yards.
Second and
Second
four
and
here
4 for St. Joe's
the football north.
from the 50-yard line.
Miracle with a quick hitter to the far side.
Quick pass to
And
number
a
4.
good play here for St. Joe's as they pick up a first
Mitchell
down with
picks
Dante.
up the first.
Miracle with a quick hitter to the far side.
Quick pass to
And
number
a
4.
good play here for St. Joe's as they pick up a first
Mitchell
down with
picks
Dante
up the first down
Mitchell.
with about a 9-yard gain.
First touch of the game for Dante Mitchell, and St. Joe's football north on
Takes
the
it down to the 40-yard line of the Peddie Falcons. Down
Mitchell.
with about a 9-yard gain.
First touch of the game for Dante Mitchell, and St. Joe's football north on
Takes
the
it down to the 40-yard line of the Peddie Falcons.
First and 10.
Tyler Tedeschi on the tackle, and
the
he looks to be
40-yard
coming
line.
off.
First and 10.
Tyler Tedeschi on the tackle, and he looks to be coming off. First and 10 from the Peddie 45 for St. Joe's. Number 5, Labemba now joins in the backfield, and he's going to run the ball.
Handoff here for Labemba.
45 for St. Joe's. Number 5, Labemba now joins in the backfield, and he's going to run the ball.
Handoff here for Labemba, and he tries to go west, not able to turn.
Garrett chases him down for the tackle.
Garrett, the future Virginia Cavalier, will bring him down. West, not able to turn.
Garrett chases him down for the tackle.
Garrett, the future Virginia Cavalier, will bring him down.
Just a slight gain. 2nd and 9 now from the 44-yard line. Just a slight gain. 2nd and 9 now from the 44-yard line for St. Joe's.
Clock ticks under 45 seconds to
for St. Joe's.
Clock ticks under 45 seconds to play. St. Joe's Football North looking for a score here. It would be nice for them. They get the goose egg off the board, and they get it to their man, Coleman, but he's taking play. St. Joe's Football North looking for a score here. It would be nice for them. They get the goose egg off the board, and they get it to their man, Coleman, but he's taking
out wide
down
to Coleman, but he's going to lose a yard. Quick play by Garrett again on the tackle.
On the other side of the field.
It brings up 30 yard. Quick play by Garrett again on the tackle.
On the other side of the field.
It brings up 3rd and 11, or 12 now, for St. Joe's from the Peddie 42. 3rd and 11, or 12 now, for St. Joe's from the Peddie 42.
St. Joe's Football North with 30 seconds left here in the second quarter. St. Joe's Football North with 30 seconds left here in the second. Call a timeout, talk this over.
With 30 seconds left in the first half, St. Joe's is taking a timeout.
Seconds left for them to try and score. Call a timeout, talk this over.
With 30 seconds left in the first half, St. Joe's is taking a timeout.
Seconds left for them to try and score here. Get some points before the half. Here. Get some points before the half. Upcoming schedule for the Peddie Falcons. Talk about Malvern Prep next week, next Friday night. Upcoming schedule for the Peddie Falcons. Talk about Malvern Prep next week, next Friday night. Week after that, they will begin Maple League play.
With halftime on the horizon, don't forget to support the 2018 seniors.
Will be week after that, they will begin Maple League play.
With halftime on the horizon, don't forget to support the 2018 seniors.
Will be broadcast here live on the play-by-play.
And their cookout on just the other side of the press box.
Mercersburg and Hunt.
Hamburgers and hot dogs and drinks.
Blair Academy. Big Bear,
something to eat, and their cookout on just the other side of the press box.
Mercersburg and Hunt.
Hamburgers and hot dogs and drinks.
Blair Academy, Big Bear,
something to eat and something to drink.
Here at Peddie.
Support their efforts to raise money for their prom and for the rest of their year.
Final 2 weeks of the season for the Peddie. Here at Peddie.
Support their efforts to raise money for their prom and for the rest of their year.
Final 2 weeks of the season for the Peddie Falcons, just as it was in 2016. And the Maple champion is determined. On 3rd and long in 2016. as the Maple champion is determined. On 3rd and long, and he completes it to Coleman, who's got the first down, and he's taken down across the sideline. St. Joe's football
down to the 26-yard
line, and he completes it to Coleman, who's got the first down, and he's
nice
taken down across the
sideline.
St. Joe's football
down to the 26-yard line with a first down.
It is a running clock, and with
Miracle
under
to
15
Coleman.
seconds left, they might be able to get one more
for the
play
14
off,
or 15
unless they
yard
have a timeout.
Line with a first down.
It is a running clock, and with
Miracle
under
to
15
Coleman.
seconds left, they might be able to get one more
for the
play
14
off,
or 15
unless they
yard.
have a timeout, which they do, and they stop the clock with 11 seconds to go. Nice pass and catch as Miracle has had some good success since taking over.
St. Joe's takes another timeout.
And they've gotten they do, and they stop the clock with 11 seconds to go. Nice pass and catch as Miracle has had some good success since taking over.
St. Joe's takes another timeout.
And they've gotten the ball in the hands of Nathan Coleman.
1st and 10 from the 25 with just 11 seconds left in the first half.
And a good sure-handed catch out the sticks for the first down. Ball in the hands of Nathan Coleman.
1st and 10 from the 25 with just 11 seconds left in the first half.
And a good sure-handed catch out the sticks for the first down. So to recap the scoring here in the first half. So to recap the scoring here in the first half. Peddie School with an early touchdown. Number of early touchdowns, I should say. The first one came for Leslie, 10:32 in the first quarter. Peddie School with an early touchdown. Number of early touchdowns, I should say. The first one came for Leslie, 10:32 in the first quarter. Johnson, a 25-yard catch, just 26 seconds on the clock later in the first quarter. Minute after that, 1 minute of gameplay after that. Bolan with a Johnson, a 25-yard catch, just 26 seconds on the clock later in the first quarter. Minute after that, 1 minute of gameplay after that. Bolan with a 15-yard pick six. Also caught a 35-yard touchdown 2 minutes later, so at the 7:05 mark, our 15-yard pick six. Also caught a 35-yard touchdown 2 minutes later, so at the 7:05 mark, already 4 touchdowns on the board for Peddie. And with 9:50 left in the second quarter, Bolan added another one, a 15-yard catch on 4th and 8. Already 4 touchdowns on the board for Peddie. 9:50 left in the second quarter, Bolan added another one, a 15-yard catch on 4th and 8. Defense has been awesome. Mentioned the Bolan pick six. Defense has been awesome. Mentioned the Bolan pick six. I failed to mention the Schmidt pick six. Alexander Schmidt here in the second quarter with about 40 yards off the line. I failed to mention the Schmidt pick six. Alexander Schmidt here in the second quarter with about 40 yards off the line. He intercepted the ball and took it the distance, the big man. Intercepted the ball and took it the distance, the big man. Try to reset the clock here at Peddie School in Hightstown. 15 seconds on the clock.
Resetting the clock to 15 seconds.
Reset the clock here at Peddie School in Hightstown. 15 seconds on the clock.
Resetting the clock to 15 seconds left in the first half.
As this one St. Joe's.
Again,
called their
first and 10
timeout.
from the 25-yard
Coming off
line
of the
for
catch
St.
by
Joe's.
Nathan Coleman for the first down. So a couple shots as this one, St. Joe's.
Again,
called their
first and 10
timeout.
from the 25-yard
Coming off
line
of the
for
catch
St.
by
Joe's.
Nathan Coleman for the first down. So a couple shots here for St. Joe's Football North. As Miracle takes the snap, looking end zone here for St. Joe's Football North. As Miracle takes the snap, looking end zone, steps up, and now will tuck it and run, and he is hit hard by Tedeschi. Looked like
Marco
Miracle
steps back for the pass and then takes it up the middle himself.
kind
He's
of
taken by
steps up, and now will tuck it and run, and he is hit hard by Tedeschi. Looked like
Marco
Miracle
steps back for the pass and then takes it up the middle himself.
kind
He's
of
taken by
wanted
down by Tyler Tedeschi after a 6-yard gain.
to slide down. Let's see if they can get another play off as the clock hits. They will not.
By Tyler Tedeschi after a 6-yard gain.
To slide down. Let's see if they can get another play off as the clock hits. They will not do so. That will do it for the first half
And
of
that'll do
play.
it for the first half
Peddie
of play. Peddie School
an
42,
incredible performance
St. Joe's
here
0.
on their home field. Will do so. That will do it for the first half
And
of
that'll
play.
do it for the first half
Peddie
of play. Peddie School
with an
42,
incredible performance
St. Joe's
here
0.
on their home field. 42-0. They lead at halftime on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. We'll take a break for halftime. Join us 10 to 42-0. They lead at halftime on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. We'll take a break for halftime. Join us 10 to 15 minutes or so for the start of the third
As
quarter.
we take our break, please remember the
15 minutes or so for the start of the third
As
quarter.
we take our break, please remember the
We come here to Hightstown. It's still halftime here at Maurice P. Schumann Field in Hightstown, New Jersey, where the Peddie Falcons lead the St. Joseph's Football North. Back we come here to Hightstown. It's still halftime here at Maurice P. Schumann Field in Hightstown, New Jersey, where the Peddie Falcons lead the St. Joseph's Football North 42-0. Simon Rosenwasser here back with you, and we will take a trip back through the first half and take a look at some of the highlights. 42-0. Simon Rosenwasser here back with you, and we will take a trip back through the first half and take a look at some of the highlights. As you see Canada walking in with the flag held high, and a nice look of a healthy head of hair there in front of our. As you see Canada walking in with the flag held high, and a nice look of a healthy head of hair there in front of our camera. All right, let's get to some football highlights, shall we? And here's Walters, a first touchdown of the game. All right, let's get to some football highlights, shall we? And here's Walters, a first touchdown of the game was a 15-yard strike, or a 10-yard strike, I should say, to Leslie, Julian Leslie. That was a minute and a half into a 15-yard strike, or a 10-yard strike, I should say, to Leslie, Julian Leslie. That was a minute and a half into the first quarter. Just 26 seconds later, after a fumble recovery by the Falcons, that was first quarter. Just 26 seconds later, after a fumble recovery by the Falcons, that was Marlon Johnson. And then here's the pick six, where Maurice Bellon took over, and Bellon took that one easily in for a touchdown. That was just a minute Johnson. And then here's the pick six, where Maurice Bellon took over, and Bellon took that one easily in for a touchdown. That was just a minute, with 9 minutes left in the first quarter. 3 touchdowns already on the board for Peddie. And then it continued to be the Maurice Bellon show. With 9 minutes left in the first quarter, 3 touchdowns already on the board for Peddie. And then it continued to be the Maurice Bellon show. The ensuing series is the run by Bellon is the run by Bellon. Let's see, here's going to be. Let's see, here's going to be a touchdown. This was actually a penalty. That was a weird one. This was actually a penalty. That was a weird one. As Walters threw to Chukwuneke, and then Peddie was taken back about 10 yards. And after that big play that took him down to the 1-yard line, threw to Chukwuneke, and then Peddie was taken back about 10 yards. And after that big play that took him down to the 1-yard, he had about a 40-yard catch and run down to the 1, and Peddie had a first and goal from the 1. They were unable to punch it in. On that, he had about a 40-yard catch and run down to the 1, and Peddie had a first and goal from the 1. They were unable to punch it in on that drive there. So there. So here was the Bellon touchdown catch. That was number 3, the third touchdown that he was able to score. And Bellon touchdown catch. That was number 3, the third touchdown that he was able to score. And here's the second defensive touchdown for the Peddie Falcons. Alexander Schmidt with an athletic catch and run into the end zone. Touchdown for the Peddie Falcons. Alexander Schmidt with an athletic catch and run into the end zone. So that's how the score is 42-0 Peddie School. Couple more minutes of halftime and we'll come back. That's how the score is 42-0 Peddie School. Couple more minutes of halftime and we'll come back with the start of the third quarter. With the start of the third quarter. second half
Number
here
3,
at
Arthur
the Peddie School,
Hamlin.
42 to
Number
nothing.
16,
Falcons
Kevin
lead.
Tome back to receive for St. Joe's.
Start of the second half
Number
here
3,
at
Arthur
the Peddie
Hamlin.
School, 42 to
Number
nothing.
16,
Falcons
Kevin
lead.
Tome back to receive for St. Joe's.
It'll be the Falcons to kick away. Remember, they won the toss and opted to receive, so. It'll be the Falcons to kick away. Remember, they won the toss and opted to receive. The Football North will start with the football here in the third quarter. So, the Football North will start with the football here in the third quarter. Christos Katsifis on to boot it away. Short line drive kick. That is Christos Katsifis on to boot it away. Short line drive kick. That is fallen on by Jerome Boateng.
Jerome Boateng falls on the ball for St. Joe's at their own 30-yard line. First and 10.
Fallen on by Jerome Boateng.
Jerome Boateng falls on the ball for St. Joe's at their own 30-yard line. First and 10.
Offense come back out onto the field.
For St. Joe's Football North.
A couple of quarterbacks in that first half. Then Maracle ended the half. Avery has come back out onto the field.
For St. Joe's Football North.
A couple of quarterbacks in that first half. Then Maracle ended the half. Avery Dowlala started it. Maracle had a little bit more success moving the football when he came in the second quarter. Dowlala started it. Maracle had a little bit more success moving the football when he came in the second quarter.
Hamden now under center for the St. Joe's Football North.
Are
Hamden now under center for the St. Joe's Football North.
Are behind center as it's Arthur Hamlin, the receiver, who bobbles the football and is going to go down for a very large loss. I guess that's the risk you take as it's Arthur Hamlin, the receiver, who bobbles the football and is going to go down for a very large loss. I guess that's the risk you take.
He's taken down by Garrett and Smith from Peddie Falcons.
As Hamlin bobbles it and Javar Garrett makes the play.
He's taken down by Garrett and Smith from Peddie Falcons.
As Hamlin bobbles it and Javar Garrett makes the play.
Loss.
And 21 for
the second and 21 for St. Joe's Football North. Loss.
And 21 for
the second and 21 for St. Joe's Football North. Hamlin stays under center for St. Joe. Hamlin stays under center for St. Joe's, number 5. Labemba in the backfield with him.
They run to the left, and again it's
Labemba in the backfield with him.
They run to the left, and again it's Hamlin, who's able to stay on his feet.
Hamlin sneaks
here.
away from an early
after
attempt
all of that, he's able to get
tough
a
loss,
gain of about
gets
a
back.
half a yard. Who's able to stay on
Hamlin
his feet
sneaks
here.
away from an
And
early
after
attempt
all of that, he's able to get
tough
a
loss,
gain of about
gets
a
back.
half a yard.
Get original line of scrimmage, maybe
Thomas
gains a
Wardle
half a
ends up
yard.
making the play.
It'd be 3rd and 21 for St. Joe's Football. Original line of scrimmage, maybe
Thomas
gains a
Wardle
half a
ends up
yard.
making the play.
It'd be 3rd and 21 for St. Joe's Football
He's
North.
able to avoid a second big loss in a row, but it is 3rd and long here for St. Joe's Football North, and an obvious loss in a row, but it is 3rd and long here for St. Joe's Football North, and an obvious passing situation. Looks Looks like the other quarter, Justin Peddie. Let's see who will be behind center for the St. Joe's situation. Looks like Ben. Looks like the other quarter, Justin Peddie. Let's see who will be behind center for the St. Joe's football north. But they do call a timeout, and the first 2 minutes, we will have a stop.
Timeout, St. Joe's.
And the first 2 minutes, we will have a stop.
Timeout, St. Joe's.
As St. Joe's will talk it over. With 9:59 to go here in quarter number 3. 42-0, Peddie leads. Simon Rosenwasser here with you. Talk it over. With 9:59 to go here in quarter number 3. 42-0, Peddie leads. Simon Rosenwasser here with you on the play-by-play Sports Network. You got to look at Blaine Scatchard having a nice old chat with his quarterback work. You got to look at Blaine Scatchard having a nice old chat with his quarterback at Avery Dowlala. And there's his other quarterback, Ben Marriott. Two of them have split time this year. Dowlala. And there's his other quarterback, Ben Marriott. Two of them have split time this year. Back to the huddle goes Ben Miracle. The relay. Back to the huddle goes Ben Miracle. The relay.
Dowlala is now under center for St. Joe's.
Check that as you heard the PA announcer just say. It's Avery Dowlala.
Dowlala is now under center for St. Joe's.
Check that as you heard the PA announcer just say. It's Avery Dowlala back into the game. So just like back into the game. So just like he started the game. Dowlala behind
Labamba
center.
is back behind
Third and
Dowlala in the backfield.
behind
Labamba
center.
is back behind
Third and
Dowlala in the backfield.
Peddie showing pressure. And they're going to get to him. Javar Garrett again.
Garrett
Peddie showing pressure. And they're going to get to him. Javar Garrett again.
Garrett on the blitz makes the tackle. Takes down Dowlala for about a 7 or 8 yard loss.
Not even a chance for the quarterback in.
Tackle. Takes down Dowlala for about a 7 or 8 yard loss.
Not even a chance for the quarterback in Avery Dowlala to get rid of the football. And the Peddie school.
Coleman's going to be back to punt. And he's
9.5
kicking from
counting.
the
Dowlala to get rid of the football. And the Peddie school.
Coleman's going to be back to punt. And he's
9.5
kicking from
counting.
the end zone
Third.
after that loss. Fourth down from the 12-yard line. Balan and
Coleman all the way back.
Leslie
Punt.
back
He's standing.
to that loss. Fourth down from the 12-yard line. Balan and
Coleman all the way back.
Leslie
Punt.
back.
He's standing in his own end zone. Fields in his own end zone. Fields it cleanly. And a spiraling boot that goes out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. We'll see where they'll
kicking away from the Peddie Falcons.
And a spiraling boot that goes out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. We'll see where they'll
Kicking away from the Peddie Falcon returners.
31
out of bounds.
36-yard line.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line for the Peddie Falcons. Their first
Field
out of bounds.
36-yard line.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line for the Petty Falcons. Their first
Field
possession of the second
here for
half.
Peddie. As the Falcons will send their offense back out on the field, it'll be interesting to see how long we. As the Falcons will send their offense back out on the field, it'll be interesting to see how long we see the first stringers out there.
Looks like Alan Walters remains under center to start the.
First stringers out there.
Looks like Alan Walters remains under center to start the second half for the Peddie Falcons.
Alan Walters.
He's joined in the backfield by
Coming into this
Chikwinicki.
season with a fresh arm.
Out wide on either.
Alan Walters.
He's joined in the backfield by
Coming into this
Chikwinicki.
season with a fresh arm.
Out wide on either
Fresh
side
legs.
are Johnson,
Uninjured
Leslie to
as
the left, Balan and
they plagued him
Tucker
last
to
year.
the right.
Pretty remarkable the season the Falcons.
Balan and
They plagued him
Tucker
last
to
year.
the right.
Pretty remarkable the season the Falcons had at 6-2. The injuries that they had to the guys that they were relying on. As they're going to go deep on first down. End zone looking, and it's over the head. The injuries that they had to the guys that they were relying on. As they're going to go deep on first down. End zone looking, and it's over the head of the intended target, Marlon Johnson. Second time they've targeted Johnson, and the second time it's been in the end zone.
Deep pass.
Of the intended target, Marlon Johnson. Second time they've targeted Johnson, and the second time it's been in the end zone.
Deep pass into the end zone is incomplete. To the end zone is incomplete.
25-yard catch for a touchdown early in the
Remains
first quarter.
to be now 2nd and 10 from the.
Catch for a touchdown early in the
Remains
first quarter.
To be now 2nd and 10 from the 36-yard line for the Peddie. 36-yard line for the Peddie Falcons.
A clear red zone target for the Falcons this season. Going to be Marlon Johnson, number 11. A clear red zone target for the Falcons this season. Going to be Marlon Johnson, number 11.
Trips right for the Falcons.
Junior from Penland, Pennsylvania. On the screen this
Balan
side
makes
to
the
Bryce
catch.
Balan. And Balan
Makes a quick move.
Penland, Pennsylvania. On the screen this
Balan
side
makes
to
the
Bryce
catch.
Balan. And Balan
Makes a quick move and thrown out of bounds by
at
number
the
2.
35. Down to the 29.
St. Joe's Jerome Boateng with a nice. By number 2.
35. Down to the 29.
St. Joe's Jerome Boateng with a nice. Gain of about 6 or 7 yards.
Maurice Balan
It's going to
has
be
had a nice
3rd
look.
and a long 3 for the Peddie. Gain of about 6 or 7 yards.
Maurice Balan
It's going to
has
be
had a nice
3rd
look.
and a long 3 for the Peddie Falcons. From the St. Joe's 30-yard line. Yard line.
Third and 4 here for Peddie. And the handoff to Chikwinicki. And
Hand up
he's
up the middle
through
to
the middle
Chikwinicki.
here for Peddie. And the handoff to Chikwinicki. And
Hand up
he's
up the
through
middle to
the middle.
Chikwinicki. He's just
And
in a
at the
gainer.
line, it'll be
He's just
and
in a
at the
gainer.
line, it'll be
Maybe a
4th
yard.
and about 4 upcoming here for the Peddie Falcons.
Maybe a
4th
yard.
And about 4 upcoming here for the Peddie Falcons.
Remains fourth down and a long 3. From just inside the St. Joe's 30-yard line. Remains fourth down and a long 3. From just inside the St. Joe's 30-yard line.
Peddie has converted on 2 4th downs thus far in the game. One of them turned. Peddie has converted on 2 4th downs thus far in the game. One of them turned into a touchdown. Maurice Balan last time they were on this side of the field, looking to convert on 4th down. Back. Maurice Balan last time they were on this side of the field, looking to convert on 4th down back in the second quarter. On 4th down, they look to throw. Walters going for the end zone, looking for Johnson, and it's going to be incomplete. On fourth down, they look to throw. Walters going for the end zone, looking for Johnson, and it's going to be incomplete. Lots of contact down there. Walters looking for a flag. Does not look like he's going to get it. And
taking it deep into the end
taking
zone.
over on downs will be the St. Joe's. Walters looking for a flag. Does not look like he's going to get it. And
taking it deep into the end
taking
zone.
over on downs will be the St. Joe's football North.
Complete pass. The ball is turned over on
Richard
downs.
Graham out there on the coverage.
First and 10 now for St. Joe's from their own 30-yard line.
As they
complete pass. The ball is turned over on
Richard
downs.
Graham out there on the coverage.
First and 10 now for St. Joe's from their own 30-yard line.
As they went for Johnson. And St. Joe's will have a St. Joe's will have a first and 10 from the 30. 5:36 to go in quarter number 3. Running clock here in the second half with a 35-plus lead. 5:36 to go in quarter number 3. Running clock here in the second half with a 35-plus lead for the Peddie Falcons.
Delala back under center. Delala back under center. 25 Blade Best with him. Hand up the middle to Best. And he's taken down by Garrett and Schmidt after a very short gain. 25 Blade Best with him. Hand up the middle to Best. And he's taken down by Garrett and Schmidt after a very short gain.
So there's Alexander Schmidt as well as Corey Smith there in on the tackle for the Falcons, and it will be Schmidt as well as Corey Smith there in on the tackle for the Falcons, and it will be a 2nd and 9. Both of those players had big plays in the first half. Turnovers. Corey Smith on the first defensive play of the game.
From their own 31.
A 2nd and 9. Both of those players had big plays in the first half. Turnovers. Corey Smith on the first defensive play of the game.
From their own 31.
Forced a fumble. And on the the 40-yard line about is in the second quarter when Alexander Schmidt took one the distance. The defensive lineman for 40-yard line about is in the second quarter when Alexander Schmidt took one the distance. The defensive lineman for a pick 6. Second down, an incomplete pass to Dante Mitchell.
Delala trying to go out wide to the side.
For pick 6. Second down, an incomplete pass to Dante Mitchell.
Delala trying to go out wide to the sideline to number 4. Dante Mitchell, incomplete. That's going to make it 3rd and 9 for St. Joe's. Dante Mitchell, incomplete. That's going to make it 3rd and 9 for St. Joe's.
So 3rd and 9 for the St. Joe's football North. As we are 8 minutes into this third quarter. Still 42-0 Peddie. So 3rd and 9 for the St. Joe's football North. As we are 8 minutes into this third quarter. Still 42-0 Peddie. All 6 touchdowns coming in the first half of play. All 6 touchdowns coming in the first half of play. It's Dowlala setting up a screen, and it is intercepted. It's Dowlala setting up a screen, and it is intercepted by Alexander Schmidt. Are you kidding me?
St. Joe's was setting up the screen pass.
By Alexander Schmidt. Are you kidding me?
St. Joe's was setting up the screen pass, and Alex jumped up high again for his second interception. Came down.
How
with the
about
ball,
Alex
hit
Schmidt
drill,
with
1-on-1.
interception number 2? And how about the athleticism of the...
Jumped up high again for his second interception. Came down.
How
with the
about
ball,
Alex
hit drill,
Schmidt with
1-on-1.
interception number 2? And how about the athleticism of the defensive...
And that'll turn it over to be first down.
Here we
for
go
Peddie
on the
Falcons from
replay.
the St. And that'll turn it over to be first down.
Here
for
we
the
go
Peddie
on the
Falcons from
replay.
the St. Joe's 25.
Initially picked by, or tipped by Schmidt, and then he picked it as well. And Peddie's initially picked by, or tipped by Schmidt, and then he picked it as well. And Peddie's got a first and...
Walters and Chickwinnicki in the backfield. They're tripped left.
From the 25.
Walters and Chickwinnicki in the backfield. They're tripped left.
From the 25. Play action. Walters rolling right, throwing on the run, and completing to Maurice Bellon.
Walters escapes the initial pressure and...
Play action. Walters rolling right, throwing on the run, and completing to Maurice Bellon.
Walters escapes the initial pressure and completes
Good
the pass
pocket
to
presence
Bellon.
by Alan Walters, and a
About
solid
5
gain on
yards.
first down. 5 yards for the Falcons, and it's 2nd and 5.
Second, completes
Good
the pass
pocket
to
presence
Bellon.
by Alan Walters, and a
About
solid
5
gain on
yards.
first down. 5 yards for the Falcons, and it's 2nd and 5.
2nd and 5 from the 20-yard line. Falcons again going no huddle. Line. Falcons again going no huddle.
Walters looking left, now across the middle. Nice catch made. Maurice Bellon again. And Bellon's... Walters looking left, now across the middle. Nice catch made. Maurice Bellon again. And Bellon's got the first down inside the 15-yard line before he's brought backwards.
Quick hitter 6-yard pass just across the...
The 15-yard line before he's brought backwards.
Quick hitter 6-yard pass just across the 15-yard line to Bellon.
And Peddie will hurry up to the line once
That's
again.
a Peddie Falcon first
Under
down.
2 minutes to go here in quarter number 3.
First and 10 from about the 14-yard line.
Walters steps up,
Walters back
fires,
to pass again,
completes.
hits Bellon again.
He's
been a
got
favorite
Bellon
target
who
today.
and Peddie will
Walters.
hurry up to the line once
That's a
again.
Peddie Falcon first
Under
down.
2 minutes to go here in quarter number
First
3.
and 10 from about the 14-yard line.
Takes a man, puts his head down, and falls forward to the 2-yard line. And that will be yet another first down, I believe, for the... Walters steps up,
Walters back
fires,
to pass again,
completes.
hits Bellon again.
He's
been a
got
favorite
Bellon
target
who
today.
shakes a man, puts his head down, and falls forward to the 2-yard line. And that will be yet another first down, I believe, for the Peddie School. If not just short of the sticks.
Just shy of the first down. 2nd and inches.
If not just short of the sticks.
Just shy of the first down. 2nd and inches for Peddie from the St. Joe's 4-yard line.
It looks like they are going to grant the first down as the referee with the white hat makes the indication
Correction,
to
it is a
the
first
side
down, and
judges.
it's 1st and goal
So
from the
first and goal
4.5-yard
for
line
Peddie here
Falcons.
from the 4. And Walters in the gun.
St. Joe's 4-yard line.
It looks like they are going to grant the first down as the referee with the white hat makes the indication
Correction,
to
it is a
the
first
side
down, and
judges.
it's 1st and goal
So
from the
first and goal
4.5-yard
for
line
Peddie here
Falcons.
from the 4. And Walters in the gun. Gives to
And
Chuck
up the middle to
Winecki,
Chickwinnicki,
easy
and
enough.
it's a middle to
Winecki,
Chickwinnicki,
easy
and
enough.
it's a
Touchdown,
Peddie
Peddie.
Falcon
48 to nothing, Falcons. Peddie, 48 to nothing, Falcons. So after the interception by Alexander Schmidt, his second of the game. So after the interception by Alexander Schmidt, his second of the game, Peddie is able to convert a fourth down to keep a drive going. Work it down towards the goal line, and Chuck Winecki finally gets into the end zone. Long time coming. He nearly did so in the first quarter, but was caught at the 1. To convert a fourth down to keep a drive going. Work it down towards the goal line, and Chuck Winecki finally gets into the end zone. Long time coming. He nearly did so in the first quarter, but was caught at the 1. Katsifis
stays consistent.
Katsifis
stays consistent
with
the uprights, and it's
the extra
49-0
point, and that is
School.
good. So 40, the extra point, and that is
School.
good. So 49-0, 7 touchdowns
quarter.
on the board for the 7 touchdowns
quarter.
on the board for the Peddie Falcons, and they're going to stop the clock with 14 seconds left here in the third quarter. So we might get the kickoff after this touchdown, and then that will be the end of the quarter. The Peddie Falcons, and they're going to stop the clock with 14 seconds left here in the third quarter. So we might get the kickoff after this touchdown, and then that will be the end of the quarter. The Falcons in the last two games have outscored their opponents. Let's do the math. 111-0. After losing in the first game 30-6, 111-0. Falcons making a statement here in their next two games.
Katsifis out to the 40-yard line to kick off for the Peddie School.
And if this team can, after losing in the first game 30-6, Falcons making a statement here in their next two games.
Katsifis out to the 40-yard line to kick off for the Peddie School.
And if this team can stay healthy, it's going to be a fun one to watch. Throughout the season. A team with a legitimate chance to win yet another prep title. And Maple throughout the season. A team with a legitimate chance to win yet another prep title and Maple title. 18 prep state titles in the history of the Peddie Falcons football program back in 1883. History of the Peddie Falcons football program back in 1883. A win here today would be the 447th. A win here today would be the 447th in program history.
Victome and Hamlin back again for the kick. Victome and Hamlin back again for the kick.
Another squibber.
Squib kick again.
And Jerome Boateng goes down. Another squibber.
Squib kick again.
And Jerome Boateng goes down with it.
Boateng falls on it at the 31-yard line.
So St. Joe's Football
It'll
North,
be
after
first
turning
and
the
10
ball
from
over
their
yet
own
again
31
on an
for St. Joe's
interception.
line.
So St. Joe's Football
It'll be
North, after
first
turning
and
the
10
ball
from
over
their
yet
own
again
31
on an
for St.
interception
Joe's
by
Football North.
Alexander Schmidt.
That's the end of the third quarter.
We'll get the football back at the start of the fourth quarter. At the end of three, it is 49-0. All Peddie Falcons here by Alexander Schmidt.
That's the end of the third quarter.
We'll get the football back at the start of the fourth quarter. At the end of 3, it is 49-0, all Peddie Falcons here in Hightstown. Fourth and final quarter here.
Delilah under center as the fourth quarter starts.
As it's 1st and 10 for fourth and final quarter here.
Delilah under center as the fourth quarter starts.
As it's 1st and 10 for the St.
Behind him in
Joe's
the backfield
football
for
North.
St. Joe's.
And a quick hitter there.
David Harris with the tackle.
As Antonio
on a quick
Corsi
hitting
makes
slant
the
by St. Joe's.
the St.
Behind him in the
Joe's
backfield
football
for
North.
St. Joe's.
And a quick hitter there.
David Harris with the tackle.
As Antonio
on a quick
Corsi
hitting
makes
slant
the
by St. Joe's.
play.
From Delilah to number
David
31.
Harris.
Antonio
with the
Corsi
tackle.
for St. Joe's. From Delilah to number
David
31.
Harris.
Antonio
with the
Corsi
tackle.
for St. Joe's. It's a 6-yard.
As we see some of the younger,
Fourth and second
Peddie Falcons on the field here for the fourth quarter.
from the 41-yard line for St. Joe's.
Second and
Their
4
own
with
40. Fourth and second
Peddie Falcons on the field here for the fourth quarter.
from the 41-yard line for St. Joe's.
Second and
Their
4
own
with
41.
11 and a half to go. Make sure you join us next week here on the. Make sure you join us next week here on the Play by Play Sports Network. Friday football here for Peddie. Not something we're
Again,
used
back
to
under
seeing.
center.
Mostly Saturday afternoons for Maple Contest, but an interact for Peddie. Not something we're
Again,
used
back
to
under
seeing.
center.
Mostly Saturday afternoons for Maple Contest, but an interact school coming to town as a first down is picked up by the football.
Number 4,
North.
Dante Mitchell with the
That was
catch.
Dante Mitchell.
A 5-yard gain, and that's a first down.
When
Into
Football
number 4,
North.
Dante Mitchell with the
That was
catch.
Dante Mitchell.
A 5-yard gain, and that's a first down
When
into
Malvern
Peddie
comes
territory.
to town, we will truly see
My apologies. At their own
where
46-yard
this
line.
Petty football
First
team
and 10 from the
stands.
46 for
Malvern
St. Joe's.
playing against the likes of truly see
My apologies. At their own
where
46-yard
this
line.
Petty football
First
team
and 10
stands.
from the 46 for St.
Malvern
Joe's.
playing against the likes of Germantown Academy, Episcopal Academy, Penn Charter.
Delilah with a handoff up the middle to
And
number
here's
24.
a big run for the football North. Penn Charter.
Delilah with a handoff up the middle to number
And here's
24.
a big run for the football North, and still on his feet. Connor Bournet, and
Connor Bournet
3
with a
Petty
big
Falcons have to
gain
take
right
him
up the
down
middle on the
inside the 10.
Falcons.
As the biggest And
Connor Bournet with a
Peddie
big
Falcons have to
gain
take
right
them
up the
down
middle on the
inside the
Falcons.
10. As the biggest offensive play of the game for the football North was on display right there.
He picks up about 45
big
yards.
Man, Connor Bournet,
And gets
takes
just
it for
inside the
45.
10-yard line.
Was on display right there.
He picks up about 45
big
yards.
Man, Connor Bournet,
And gets
takes
just
it for
inside the 10-yard line for St. Joe's. St. Joe's. It's first and goal from the 9 now.
Tough man to bring down. Avery Dowlala.
9 now.
Tough man to bring down. Avery Dowlala. Hands
Bournet
off again, and it is Bournet. This time he's taken down by the Peddie Falcons.
Number 33, Jarrett Hillman this time.
The Peddie Falcons.
Number 33, Jarrett Hillman on the tackle for Peddie. On a 2-yard gain, it's second and goal. On a 2-yard gain, it's second and goal from the 6. Maybe the 7-yard line.
Deep part of the roster here for Peddie. Not all of the players listed here, so we apologize for deep part of the roster here for Peddie. Not all of the players listed here, so we apologize for any omissions of name calling for the Falcons.
Dowlala back to pass.
As Dowlala looks the end zone, and he's got a
And
touchdown to Coleman.
For a
Falcons.
Dowlala back to pass.
As Dowlala looks the end zone, and he's got a
And
touchdown to Coleman.
For a
First touchdown of the
for
game
a
for the St. Joe's touchdown of the
For a
game
St.
for the St.
Joe's
Joe's
touchdown.
Football North. It's Nathan Coleman, 5'8", 160. Good game for him. The punter, the receiver, Football North. It's Nathan Coleman, 5'8", 160. Good game for him. The punter, the receiver, the skilled position player, able to get into the end zone and put the first points on the board against the Peddie Falcons in 2 games. Player able to get into the end zone and put the first points on the board against the Peddie Falcons in 2 games. So Coleman, after
back to
catching
kick
the
now
touchdown,
after catching the touchdown pass.
Coleman, after
back to
catching
kick
the
now after catching the
will
touchdown pass.
line up to kick the extra point.
Dowlala will hold.
The kick is up, and he has shown off that leg throughout point.
Dowlala will hold.
The kick is up, and he has shown off that leg throughout today.
The lefty takes it up and through for the extra point.
As we
now
get
49-7
at the final, or the first touchdown here for
through
49-7.
The extra point.
As we
now
get
49-7
at the final, or the first touchdown here for
with just under 10 minutes remaining in the game.
9:36 to go. A stop. 9:36 to go. They stop the clock at the scoring play. Scoring play. Admire the heart and determination of this. Admire the heart and determination of this Football North team. Continuing to learn
Coleman
the game
setting
of
up the
football.
kick from his own 40-yard line.
All the ways that they did. Continuing to learn
Coleman
the game
setting
of
up the
football.
kick from his own 40-yard line.
All the ways that they did. From being in Maryland last week. Ohio. Now you're back to New Jersey. Not easy with all of the schools. Ohio. Now you're back to New Jersey. Not easy with all of the schoolwork that has to happen. I thought Mercersburg to Peddie was bad, but imagine going
Balon
from
and
Ottawa.
Chickwinnicki back deep for the Falcons.
Mercersburg to Peddie was bad, but imagine going
Balon
from
and
Ottawa
Chickwinnicki back deep for the Falcons
all over
to receive.
the United States and playing all of your games.
Falcons
All
to
over the
receive.
United States and playing all of your games in the U.S., except for the last game, of course, where St. Joe's Football North will play the U.S., except for the last game, of course, where St. Joe's Football North will play against its sister school in Clarkson. And what they call the Battle of the North. Onside kick. And what they call the Battle of the North. Onside kick. And it's a good one, but solid coverage there by number 17 for Peddie, and that's David Harris.
David Harris falls on the
by number 17 for Peddie, and that's David Harris.
David Harris falls on the ball, the onside kick.
So 9.5, and let's see if the first teamers go back out there. There was a late flag. And it's against the Falcons.
Onside kick.
So 9.5, and let's see if the first teamers go back out there. There was a late flag. And it's against the Falcons. So Peddie will have a 1st and 10. So Peddie will have a 1st and 10. See where
that's
they
a personal
spot
foul
the ball,
on the Peddie Falcons.
The penalty. It was a personal foul against Peddie. Last year it was
taking
a team
it back
that
15 yards.
Was guilty penalty. It was a personal foul against Peddie. Last year it was
taking
a team
it back
that
15 yards.
Was guilty of a number of personal foul penalties.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Falcons from their own 25-yard line.
Letting their discipline slip.
1st and 10 for the Falcons from their own 25-yard line.
Letting their discipline slip. The clock rolls again under 9. The clock rolls again under 9.5.
Walters again under center.
Peddie will start
the
drive at the 26-yard line. Walters still out and a half.
Walters again under center.
Peddie will start the drive at the 26-yard line. Walters still out there.
Trips
First
right,
teamer
Tucker,
still out there.
Leslie, Balon out to the right, Johnson in the left.
Walters fire
out to the right, Johnson in the left.
Walters fires near side, and he nearly completed. Near side, and he nearly completed. Looking for Chris Chukwanecki out of the backfield, and almost getting a touch was Chukwanecki out of the backfield, and almost getting a touch was number 45,
Walters tried to hit Chukwanecki on the rollout play.
Paul.
Incomplete pass. It's 2nd and 10.
Coverage with
on the rollout play.
Paul.
Incomplete pass. It's 2nd and 10 from their own 25 for the Falcons. Own 25 for the Falcons. Again going no huddle.
It's an incomplete pass. 2nd and 10.
Again going no huddle.
It's an incomplete pass. 2nd and 10. Still looking to throw are the Falcons, and through the arms of the intended target in Maurice Bellon.
Walters tries to hit Bellon on a short
3rd
cross.
and 10. Through the arms of the intended target in Maurice Bellon.
Walters tries to hit Bellon on a short
3rd
cross.
and 10.
Slant play, incomplete pass. Brings the pass. Brings up third and 10 from the
49-7,
25.
so the
for the
game
Falcons.
result well in hand. The Falcons, you might be asking, why are they
10 from the
49-7?
25
So the
for
game
the Falcons.
result well in hand. The Falcons, you might be asking, why are they still throwing the ball? Well, if you're Chris Maleo, you
Clock
treat
continues to run
every
with
single
just over
minute
8
on the
minutes
football
remaining
field
in the
during
game.
live gameplay like it's practice for the big game. You
Clock
treat
continues to run
every
with
single
just over
minute
8
on the
minutes
football
remaining
field
in the
during
game.
live gameplay like it's practice for the big games to come. And there are a number of big games to come for this Peddie football team. As here's Chuck Winecki shaking and baking behind the line of scrimmage across the
Chuck
first down
Winecki up
marker.
the middle.
Peddie football team. As here's Chuck Winecki shaking and baking behind the line of scrimmage across the
Chuck
first down
Winecki up
marker.
the middle.
And
For about a
across the
17-yard gain, gain, and a
for
Peddie's Falcon
down.
first down.
On 3rd and long. And we mentioned Malvern
First down.
on 3rd and long. And we mentioned Malvern Prep next week, but then Maple Place starting.
1st and 10 from their own
Falcons
42 for the Falcons now.
Have their work cut out for starting.
1st and 10 from their own
Falcons
42
will
for the Falcons now.
Have their work cut out for them when they face off against the Hun School and Blair Academy. Walters escaping pressure, throwing on the run, got a lot on Hun School and Blair Academy. Walters escaping pressure, throwing on the run, got a lot on that ball, and completed the pass despite the penalty. What a play by Tyron Tucker, adjusting back to the ball and making the catch. A penalty. What a play by Tyron Tucker, adjusting back to the ball and making the catch. A clear defensive pass interference play. But it doesn't matter as
There's a pass interference on the play by St. Joe's. Interference on the play by St. Joe's. It's
Beautifully done. Good throw by Walters.
30-yard
Impressive
gain
that he
for
got
the
that much
Falcons.
on that ball, despite
Brings up
rolling.
third
Aptly
and
done.
8.
Good throw by Walters.
30-yard
Impressive
gain
that he
for
got
the
that much
Falcons.
on that ball, despite
Brings up
rolling out of the
1st and 10
pocket
from the
and
26-yard
throwing on
line
the
as they
run.
enter
First
6-yard
throwing on
line
the
as
run.
they enter
1st
St.
and
Joe's
10 from the
territory.
26. They come to this side. It's Balan following his blocker and Julian Leslie. Still on it. They come to this side. It's Balan following his blocker and Julian Leslie. Still on his feet is Balan. Stiff arm into the end zone. Balan. Stiff arm into the end zone. Touchdown for Peddie. Yet another one for Maurice Balan. His
Peddie Falcon
touchdown of the game. Touchdown for Peddie. Yet another one for Maurice Balan. His
Peddie Falcon
touchdown of the game. 3rd on offense. He also added one in defensively with a pick 6. But Peddie has eclipsed the added one in defensively with a pick 6. But Peddie has eclipsed the 50-point mark for the second time in as many weeks. 55-7 with 7:21 to go. Time in as many weeks. 55-7 with 7:21 to go. Little slow to get off the field. Slow to get off the field is Arthur Hamlin. Not good if you're the St. Joe's Football North. Arthur Hamlin. Not good if you're the St. Joe's Football North. As Hamlin walking very slowly off the field, quite gingerly. Very slowly off the field, quite gingerly. Looks like his left leg is what he's having trouble with. And he made a couple of really nice plays in this game. Leg is what he's having trouble with. And he made a couple of really nice plays in this game.
Arthur Hamlin's made some nice plays, and he's being helped off the field. We're hoping he's going to be okay.
gave it.
Being helped off the field. We're hoping he's going to be okay.
He gave it his all. He had a couple of plays where you could, pardon the cliche, tell he was giving 120%. His all. He had a couple of plays where you could, pardon the cliche, tell he was giving 120%. As the extra point is knocked through. No, it's not. Off to the left. As the extra point is knocked through. No, it's not. Off to the left. Katsifas misses his first one. Katsifas misses his first one. The score 55-7.
And it remains 55-7.
The score 55-7.
And it remains 55-7.
So 7:21 to go. Peddie will. So 7:21 to go. Peddie will kick off again after a Maurice Bellon touchdown. Another touchdown throw for Alan Walters. Kick off again after a Maurice Bellon touchdown. Another touchdown throw for Alan Walters.
Just a reminder that the class of 2018 is still. Just a reminder that the class of 2018 is still
give
selling
him
hot
5
dogs
on this
burgers.
game.
If you like the first
Alan
one, have
Walters
another.
game.
If you like the first
Alan
one, have
Walters.
another. Support the class.
5
this
touchdown
year's
passes.
Class as they raise money. Support the class.
5
this
touchdown passes.
Class as they raise money.
And 10 touchdown passes in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks for the future Vanderbilt quarterback.
Katsifas will kick off from the 40-yard line for Peddie.
For the future Vanderbilt quarterback.
Katsifas will kick off from the 40-yard line for Peddie. Labemba and Vic Tome back for St. Joe's Football North.
Katsifas with a ground ball up the middle.
Labemba and Vic Tome back for St. Joe's Football North.
Katsifas with a ground ball up the middle. Picked up by number 24 in Connor Bournay.
Number 24, Connor Bournay.
Bournay takes it to the 44 in Connor Bournay.
Number 24, Connor Bournay.
Bournay takes it to the 44-yard line.
And takes it back to the.
And that is where St. Joe's Football North's drive will start.
St. Joe's 44-yard line, and they'll start this drive, 1st and 10 from their own.
Football North's drive will start.
St. Joe's 44-yard line, and they'll start this drive, 1st and 10 from their own 44.
Under 7 minutes to play here in quarter number 4. Peddie well on their way to yet another win. They'll start the season 2-1. To play here in quarter number 4. Peddie well on their way to yet another win. They'll start the season 2-1. While the Football North will drop to 1-5. All right, here's Dowlala back in there, and a good catch. All right, here's Dowlala back in there, and a good catch. Off the ground, Tristan Reddy was ready for that one. off the ground. Tristan Reddy was ready for that one and
15,
brings
Tristan
it
Reddy
across the first down marker.
The low pass and makes
Pulling
a nice
that
catch
one off of the ground. Across the first down marker.
The low pass and makes
Pulling
a nice
that
catch
one off of the ground. Good hands by Tristan Reddy, 6 foot 170. Good hands by Tristan Reddy, 6 foot 175.
Now 1st and 10 for St. Joe's.
And the chains move after the first down pass and catch.
Now 1st and 10 for St. Joe's.
And the chains move after the first down pass and catch.
Inside of Peddie territory.
St. Joe's football north hurries up. St. Joe's football north hurries up. Now Dalala looking the other side, and again it's Tristan Reddy. And good second. Now Dalala looking the other side, and again it's Tristan Reddy. And good second effort for Tristan Reddy up near the first down marker. For Tristan Reddy up near the first down marker yet again. It'll be a 2nd and 1.
Led by Peddie number 30. Peddie number 30. Alvin Isaac. Isaac.
Handoff to Bournet, and Bournet.
He's taken down.
He's taken down around the knees as he falls forward to
number 33 Jared Hillman, number 45
on the knees as he falls forward to
number 33 Jared Hillman, number 45 Tyler Wasilewski
30-yard line
on the tackle.
1st and 10 for the football line.
On the tackle.
1st and 10 for the football north
it
there.
1st and 10 for St. Joe's from the Peddie 31. 1st and 10 for St. Joe's from the Peddie 31.
Dalala looking for a deep ball.
Dalala with the pass
out of the
long.
Dalala looking for a deep ball.
Dalala with the pass
out of the
long.
Arms of his intended target and Antonio Corsi.
For Peddie. Brings up 2nd and 10 for St. Joe's. For Peddie. Brings up 2nd and 10 for St. Joe's. As we break underneath the 5-minute mark left in the game. As we break underneath the 5-minute mark left in the game.
Dalala, quick bubble screen to the near side.
Quick
and Dalala, quick bubble screen to the near side. And it is completed to Carter Stevens. And it is completed to Carter Stevens.
Number 9, Carter Stevens.
Stevens brings it to the 11.
Carter Stevens.
Stevens brings it to the 11.
Stevens with a nice 25-yard, 15-yard gain. First with a nice 25-yard, 15-yard gain. 1st and 10 from the Peddie 12-yard line.
Played best back in the game at running back. It's Dalala looking end zone. And he nearly had in the game at running back. It's Dalala looking end zone. And he nearly had his receiver, but it went through the arms.
Tight coverage again by O'Neal on the play. And
of his intended target.
Just
coming up lane was his
coverage again by O'Neal on the play. And
of his intended target.
Just
coming up lane was his intended target, Tristan Reddy. Intended target, Tristan Reddy. And Reddy barely get off of the field. In fact, he can't. And Reddy barely get off of the field. In fact, he can't. He's kind of caught there in the end zone as he tries to crawl. Kind of caught there in the end zone as he tries to crawl over to the far side.
He's now walking off.
Far side.
He's now walking off. He's made a couple of nice catches. We'll hope that he's doing okay. We'll hope that he's doing okay.
Now it's a hot day, so
and 10 from the 12
muscles tend to cramp up a little bit.
Okay.
Now it's a hot day, so
and 10 from the 12
muscles tend to cramp up a little bit more often here, especially towards the end of the game when you get more fatigued. Of course, the players have more often here, especially towards the end of the game when you get more fatigued. Of course, the players have all been instructed to stay hydrated throughout. Still, injury is inevitable in this game. Avery Dowlala all been instructed to stay hydrated throughout. Still, injury is inevitable in this game. Avery Dowlala still on his feet, evading a tough
comes up short.
Defensive tackle coming in on him, and then he throws it incomplete into a tough
comes up short.
Defensive tackle coming in on him, and then he throws it incomplete into the end zone.
Number 4, Dante Mitchell in the end zone.
Dante Mitchell scrambling with approaching 3 minutes to go and counting.
Dante Mitchell in the end zone.
Dante Mitchell scrambling with approaching 3 minutes to go and counting.
Number 18, Lennox Lamar with the initial pressure. Brings up 3rd and 10 from the Peddie 12-yard line for St. Joe's. Lennox Lamar with the initial pressure. Brings up 3rd and 10 from the Peddie 12-yard line for St. Joe's.
Dowlala setting up the screen, and Dowlala setting up the screen, and he's got his man. It's Connor Bournet into the end zone, touchdown. St. Joe's Football North.
Over the top for the second.
Dowlala
St. Joe's Football North
into the end zone, touchdown. St. Joe's
Football
North.
Over the top for the second.
Dowlala
St. Joe's Football North touchdown.
Leads his team down the field into the end zone. Second touchdown for the Football North here in the end zone. Second touchdown for the Football North here in the
Nathan Coleman
5th game of their season.
Stays on for the kick.
As we get one more look. Nicely executed there, little bubble screen. 5th game of their season.
Stays on for the kick.
As we get one more look. Nicely executed there, little bubble screen. And the kick will be up. The kick will be good for Nathan Coleman.
Uprights.
So
Coleman nails it to make the score.
And the kick will be up. The kick will be good for Nathan Coleman.
Uprights.
So
Coleman nails it to make the score.
55 to 14
now.
The score.
With 2 minutes and 40 seconds left.
55 to 14 now. The score.
With 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the game. Coleman will kick off for St. Joe's from their own 40-yard line. Coleman will kick off for St. Joe's from their own 40-yard line.
A long ride back up to Ontario for the St. Joe's Football North. A long ride back up to Ontario for the St. Joe's Football North. Happy to
Milan and Chickwinnicki again
have
back
a
for the kick
two-game
for the Penny
homestand here
Falcons.
on their home field after starting the season with a couple of road games. Happy to
Milan and Chickwinnicki again
have
back
a
for the kick
two-game
for the Penny
homestand here on
Falcons.
their home field after starting the season with a couple of road games. But a short week for Peddie this week. Not used to playing on Saturday, or on Fridays, excuse me, which they will be doing next week. But a short week for Peddie this week. Not used to playing on Saturday, or on Fridays, excuse me, which they will be doing next week. And it'll be an offsides, I believe, on this onside kick attempt by the St. Joe's Football North.
Onside kick attempt right now. It's offsides.
An offsides, I believe, on this onside kick attempt by the St. Joe's Football North.
Onside kick attempt right now. It's offsides on St. Joe's on the play. They'll re-kick from 5.
Try it again and re-kick from the 30.
St. Joe's on the play. They'll re-kick from 5.
Try it again and re-kick from the 30.
This time.
It looks like Peddie
Penny
they call a
Falcons have called
timeout.
the time this time.
It looks like Peddie
Penny
they call a
Falcons have called
timeout.
the timeout.
So Peddie calls a timeout with 2:40 to go. Maybe one more possession for the Falcons.
Timeout.
So Peddie calls a timeout with 2:40 to go. Maybe one more possession for the Falcons. And the clock will dip to zeros, and they'll improve to 2-1 on the season before. And the clock will dip to zeros, and they'll improve to 2-1 on the season before facing off against the Friars of Malvern Prep on Friday. Facing off against the Friars of Malvern Prep on Friday. Nathan Coleman ready to kick it away. Quick timeout for the Falcons.
Tedeschi and Ross back deep.
Nathan Coleman ready to kick it away. Quick timeout for the Falcons.
Tedeschi and Ross back deep.
Again, they go
The
for an
hands team up
onside
front,
kick.
And Lennox Lewis falls on the
And it's
the
Lennox
squib kick.
Lewis who recovers the kick. It'll be 1st and 10 for
Falcons,
again. They go
the
for an
hands team up
onside
front,
kick.
And Lennox Lewis falls on the
And it's
the
Lennox
squib kick.
Lewis who recovers the kick. It'll be 1st and 10 for Peddie.
For Joe's
4.
45-yard line.
So we saw Allen
Joe's
Ward.
45-yard line.
So we saw Alan Walters the last series for the Falcons, and they did go down and score a touchdown. See who is thrown out here on the last series for the Falcons, and they did go down and score a touchdown. See who is thrown out here on presumably the drive of the game for the Falcons. No Alan Walters. Drive of the game for the Falcons. No Alan Walters.
1st and 10 for the Falcons from the St. Joe's 45. First and 10 for the Falcons from the St. Joe's 45.
It's a handoff to Chinedu. It's a handoff to Chinedu. Okay.
Handoff up the middle. Chinedo Okeki on the the carry. Handoff up the middle. Sinead Okeke on the carry.
Okeke's first carry of the game. He's from the Bronx, New York.
Number 81, Jimmy Famolaro, under center for the Falcons.
2nd and 3 here, carry of the game. He's from the Bronx, New York.
Number 81, Jimmy Famolaro, under center for the Falcons.
2nd and 3 here for Peddie.
It's a 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7 now.
For Peddie.
It's a 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7 now from the 42-yard line.
And here's the throw to the near side over the head of the intended target at number 48.
Yard line.
And here's the throw to the near side over the head of the intended target at number 48. Not listed on the roster. Neither is
to the left side.
The quarterback here. So we are deep into the roster here. Is
to the left side.
The quarterback here. So we are deep into the roster here for the Falcons.
From the St. Joe's 42. And
we'll have a 3rd down upcoming. Looks like Peddie called another quick timeout. They're getting some reps for their younger guys here. And we'll have a 3rd down upcoming. Looks like Peddie called another quick timeout. They're getting some reps for their younger guys here, stopping the clock. The clock.
Timeout, Peddie, as they come back and onto the field. Timeout, Peddie, as they come back and onto the field.
Clock back rolling, under 120. 3rd down. Clock back rolling, under 120. 3rd down and 7 here for the Falcons.
Quick pitch up the middle to number 48, carrying the ball for the Falcons. Quick pitch up the middle to number 48, carrying the ball for the Falcons.
Quick little slip pass up the middle for the Falcons. It'll bring up a 4th down. 5 yards to go here for Peddie. Pass up the middle for the Falcons. It'll bring up a 4th down. 5 yards to go here for Peddie. Stop the clock at 57 seconds, where St. Joe's calls timeout. So
St. Joe's calls timeout with 57 seconds
looking to possibly get a couple more plays in offensively. At 57 seconds, where St. Joe's calls timeout. So
St. Joe's calls timeout with 57 seconds
looking to possibly get a couple more plays in offensively.
4th and 5 for the Peddie Falcons from the St. Joe's 40.
Game time at 2 o'clock.
4th and 5 for the Peddie Falcons from the St. Joe's 40.
Game time at 2 o'clock. And we're looking at about a 2.5 hour run time for the game. We're looking at about a 2.5 hour run time for the game.
Peddie's first string offensive line stays in front of the young
time on the clock.
Peddie's first string offensive line stays in front of the young
time on the clock, as you saw relay the message up here to the scoreboard. relay the message up here to the scoreboard. See how much time they put back on the clock. It's going to be a little bit over a minute. See how much time they put back on the clock. It's going to be a little bit over a minute. .114 will be the remaining time here. .114 will be the remaining time here for
some time has been put back on. Some time has been put back on the clock, or is being put back on the clock. Remains 4th and 5 for the Peddie Falcons. Back on the clock. Remains 4th and 5 for the Peddie Falcons. Minute 54 remaining in the game. Minute 54 remaining in the game.
1:14 should be the appropriate time. 1:14, 1:14. A little bit of miscommunication here from the white hat up to the 14 should be the appropriate time. 1:14, 1:14. A little bit of miscommunication here from the white hat up to the booth. That's okay.
Correct that. There's a minute 14 seconds left in the game. 4th and 5.
That's okay.
Correct that. There's a minute 14 seconds left in the game. 4th and 5 for the Peddie Falcons from the St. Joe's 40.
There's the pass. It's batted down at the line and in
For the Peddie Falcons from the St. Joe's 40.
There's the pass. It's batted down at the line and incomplete. Turnover on downs. Here comes St. Joseph's Football North.
By
I'll have to
number 99,
run quickly. I believe they're out of timeouts. Complete. Turnover on downs. Here comes St. Joseph's Football North.
By
I'll have to
number 99,
run quickly. I believe they're out of timeouts.
Number 11, Lake Corte Moore for the St. Joe's Football North.
Meaning no ability to stop the clock, so a couple more.
11, Lake Corte Moore for the St. Joe's Football North.
Meaning no ability to stop the clock, so a couple more plays they'll have to
The clock is
hurry
running
up.
with just under 50 seconds remaining. 1st and goal
And they
from
give
the 40.
it to Coleman.
Quick screen hit.
Plays they'll have to
The clock is
hurry
running
up.
with just under 50 seconds remaining. 1st and goal
And they
from
give
the 40.
it to Coleman.
Quick screen hitter to
And Coleman on his feet. Coleman with a nice gain.
He picks up
Lennox
20 yards.
Lamar makes the play.
After breaking a couple tackles.
And Coleman on his feet. Coleman with a nice gain.
He picks up 20
Lennox
yards.
Lamar makes the play.
After breaking a couple tackles.
Football North with under 30 seconds. Ball on the 40-yard line.
Dallala again
Avery
back in the
Dallala going deep. He's got his man open, but he overshoots him. He was looking
Against
Football
remaining,
North
clock
with
is
under
running.
30 seconds. Ball on the 40-yard line.
Dallala again
Avery
back in the center.
Dallala going deep. He's got his man open, but he overshoots him. He was looking at Antonio Corsi, who had a step.
It's an incomplete pass.
And with 15 seconds left
Brings
and
up 2nd
counting,
and 10.
the Football North are
With
going
12.
to try to snap one more play off. Antonio Corsi, who had a step.
It's an incomplete pass.
And with 15 seconds left
Brings
and
up 2nd
counting,
and 10.
the Football North are
With
going to
12.
try to snap one more play off, and they should
Trying to get
be
off
able
one
to do
last
so.
play.
The referees can spout the ball 5 seconds, and they snap it. This is going to be, and they should
Trying to get
be
off
able
one
to do
last
so.
play.
The referees can spout the ball 5 seconds, and they snap it. This is going to be the last play of the game. Go end zone. And Coleman makes a nice catch.
As time runs out.
Not in the end zone, but go end zone. And Coleman makes a nice catch.
As time runs out.
Not in the end zone, but still a nice play to end the game for St. Joe's Football North.
Number 14 and number
Coleman
36 for Peddie.
Ends it. 55-14 the final. The Peddie School over the St. Joe's Football North.
Number 14 and number
Coleman
36 for Peddie.
Ends it. 55-14 the final. The Peddie School over the St. Joe's Football North. And the Peddie Falcons improved to 2-1 on the season. St. Joe's Football North drops to 1-. And the Peddie Falcons improved to 2-1 on the season. St. Joe's Football North drops to 1-5. We thank you for joining us here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Don't forget, more Peddie football coming your way. All 4 Peddie home games this year, right here on the Play Sports Network. Don't forget, more Peddie football coming your way. All 4 Peddie home games this year, right here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network, starting with Malvern Prep next week, Friday night, 3:45. We'll see you right here with Malvern Prep next week, Friday night, 3:45. We'll see you right here from Heightstown. So for my crew, Kevin Fodinger, our director, Alex Ramadan doing graphics, I'm Simon Rosenwasser. We thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time here on the Play-by-Play Sports. So for my crew, Kevin Fodinger, our director, Alex Ramadan doing graphics, I'm Simon Rosenwasser. We thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network.
Field.